Hey, family. Welcome to another edition of the Intellectual Soapbox Q versions. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we are so glad that y'all are here. Okay? We have something special for y'all as always. Okay? And the topic of discussion is soul ties, what they are, and how to break them. Okay? And to bring it all forward, I gotta introduce Conversations herself. Okay? My sister. You know what I mean? QB. Let me bring her in. You know what I mean?
Hey
Yeah.
y'all. Hey. How you doing, Mr. Best in the World?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Just want to give a quick shout out. Having a little technical difficulties, but it's all good. Want to give a quick shout out to some of the people that came in. You know
Alrighty.
what I mean? Lady Sophia just came in the building. Hey, Lady Sophia. Thanks for
Hey,
being here.
Queen
Thanks for your
Sister.
support.
My Queen Sister.
Definitely in the money for being here. There you go.
Alrighty.
Also, got to thank M3 TV Network. What's going on, M3? He said, "What up, everyone? What's up,
Hi.
M3? You know what I'm saying?" And M3 QB ready for you today, man. So you can't come up in here starting. She's ready for you today. She's gonna bring
Look.
the fire. No, I'm joking. But yeah, everybody like subscribe to M3 TV Network. He has two new videos up talking about some very interesting topics. Please check it out, okay? And definitely, man, like and subscribe to that channel and hit that bell, okay? He has some very interesting content. And he's definitely in the money for being here.
Alrighty. So, for those of you who follow us on Instagram and Facebook, as I stated, this topic tonight is serving as a more therapeutic topic because a lot of people deal with this and they don't realize it. Mr. Best said, the title is Soul Ties, What They Are and How to Break Them. I think sometimes people get soul ties and soul mate confused. And so let's just get into it. But first, y'all know I like to start out with a quote. And so this one is by Tony Gaskins Jr. I know you've probably seen him a lot all over the social media world. Many are confusing love with a soul tie. The fruit may look similar, but the root is oftentimes very different. So basically, a soul tie can occur between two people, whether you've been sexually involved or not, whether you've been romantically involved or not. Soul ties happen when two people come together and make some type of agreement with each other, whether it's on a personal or professional level. And so, in essence, your souls connect, your energies connect. We are energy beings. Energy is never created or destroyed. It's only transferred. And so, basically, that other person's energy is transferred to you and yours to them. Now, depending on who you connect with, you may pick up a little residue of their energy, which may not be very beneficial to your life. And so sometimes you wonder, why am I moody? Why am I this? Why am I whatever? Especially if it's a negative emotion, because you have collected energy from so many people. And that's why, now you're hearing people talk about self care and taking time away and debriefing and this, that, and whatever, because you need to release from your energy space other people's energy. You keep taking and taking and taking on other people's stuff. And y'all, this is not about being spiritual. This is not about being religious. This is just this human nature. This is about you hang around so many people for so long, you eventually pick up on their behaviors, their mannerisms, and you don't even realize it before you know it. You're doing the same thing or acting in the same way. So, anywho, let's go ahead and get into soul ties. We're going to talk about what are soul ties and how do we break them, because it is possible to break those ties. And, it takes a little more than just prayer. There are people now, I'm not criticizing anyone who has a certain faith because I believe in certain things. And so, but it takes more than just prayer to, sever these soul ties. I was inspired to do this topic because of discussion with a friend. Details are not important. And so I'm hoping she gets to check in because we can further the discussion, on a more open, private level. So a soul tie, again, is when you just made a deep connection with someone. Um, but more so, it's an intimate, When I say intimate, again, don't mean sexual. Intimate just means close. So you've made a connection with someone and you are just hanging around them all the time. And eventually, again, their energies start passing on to you. You start collecting their energy back and forth. Um, I want to read this part from this article. Now, people often think intercourse is the only way to create a soul tie, but it's not. However, intercourse creates some of the strongest soul ties. So be careful again who you have sex with. This is not to try to take your phone away. This is not trying to control your life. This is about you protecting your energy space when not taking on anybody else's energy that can corrupt your life. Let me read this part real quick. The idea that intercourse causes a soul tie has roots in the Christian tradition. To perpetuate the idea that if you have sex outside of your marriage, you'll be connected to someone. But the author goes on to say that soul ties, at least in regard to sex, are really attachments in disguise and an over spiritualization of normal feelings. Additionally, although the bonding hormone oxytocin is released during orgasm, not all sexual partners go on to feel emotionally bonded to each other after the experience. So, sex can be a factor, but it also cannot. Um, you can have sex with someone and you just be like, okay, that happened and we moved on. So, anywho, let's talk about the signs that you have a soul tie with someone. You often feel connected on a deep level with someone. You find yourself thinking about this person, people, whatever, and you just feel like I can't shake them. I don't know why I can't shake this person, this feeling, this whatever. It's like you want to talk to them, be around them, just be around them. You don't have to say anything. So anyway, you just feel this connection. Like I just have to be with them. You elicit strong reaction. They elicit strong reactions from you. Again, this can be positive or negative. There's a level of intensity to the emotion. Like, yeah. Um, now this also can happen. This really happens, especially when you had a sexual encounter with someone that has really touched a part of you that you feel like no one else has ever touched before. And I mean your soul. And so you just have these very strong emotions when they're around, when they're not around. And yeah, so we know what I often call that lust more so than love, or it's obsession over attraction. And that's a whole other topic that we might have to have a discussion on one night. So yeah, they elicit strong reactions from you. At this point, I would love to hear from everyone else and see what you have to say. Let's see what's going on in the chat. All right, so no one's Miss Sophia. Anything you would like to add to the conversation? Is there, if there's anyone out there who would like to join the conversation and add to the discussion, I would love to have you. Don't be shy. This is a safe space. We treat everybody well here, so would love to have you. I don't want to feel like I'm giving a lecture, but if so, we're gonna make this short and sweet to the point. Okay. I want to read this part though under the strong reactions. There's a level of intensity to soul ties, and while they don't all look the same, you can be sure everything will be amplified. The good and the bad. Okay, sorry about that. Everybody's having technical issues. You can be sure. I apologize. Let me start over. There's a level of intensity to soul ties that there's a level of intensity to soul ties, and while they don't all look the same, you can be sure everything will be amplified, the good and the bad. You might be immediately comfortable with someone, or be very intrigued or curious about someone. Look for a strong or noticeable different reaction than normal. So, yeah, you meet someone, you're talking to someone, and you just feel this draw, this pull, this, oh my God, like what is it about them? It's like a moth to a flame, the fly to the little light. Anyway, so yes, they um they pull out some intense emotions from you. Okay. The next one is they feel familiar. And I know a lot of us have probably felt this before. Like you meet someone like, don't I know you from somewhere? No, not really. Have I met you before? I know I met you somewhere. And so you start racking your brain and going through the list of, well, I used to work here, I went to school there. Do you know so and so? Do you know? And you go through all these scenarios of how you could have possibly met this person. And truth be told, you don't know this person, but your soul somehow feels connected to them. They feel familiar to you. Maybe you met them in a previous lifetime if you believe in that sort of thing. So, anywho, yes, you feel drawn to them in that sense. Another way you know that you have a soul tie with someone is you may feel like they complete you. Now, this may be irrational thinking for some, it may feel quite normal and rational for others. Um, but yeah, oftentimes we get connected to people too soon, maybe. um, but you feel like, oh, this person just completes me. And I'm gonna be a little devil's advocate here. You should complete you. Now, while people come into your life and they can fill a space and they can play a role and they can be very beneficial, no one person should complete you. Um, that's another discussion too. But however, you feel though, like there's something, I don't know, missing in your life, or there's a part of your life that this person feels like they just complete who you are as a person. That's a soul tie. um, Sometimes, and particularly when a soul tie is activating an attachment wound. See, there's that thing. When you feel someone um, completes you, you may have an attachment. I won't say disorder, but in essence, that's what it is. There's a wound, there's a spot, there's a place in you that's not healed, and you feel like you need something, someone to feel it. And so that's where this soul tie comes in, where you feel like this person completes you, like they fill that empty space. Again, while people can play roles in your life and be a part of your life, they should never be viewed as filling a space in your life, a void um, in your life, and then you become attached, unhealthily attached to that person. Um, and this happens often in romantic soul tie issues. So be weary, because sometimes those attachments can be very toxic on one end or the other. And we've talked about toxicity before on either this show or the ladies' night. Be weary of toxic behaviors and attitudes and thoughts, and yeah, because that can often be an unhealthy attachment. All right, so number 5, your relationship feels unique or one of a kind. Like this person has never made me feel like this, or we have a special bond. We're goals, you know. Um, there's all these notes that oftentimes when it comes to soul ties, they're unique and offer an element of newness. When you first meet somebody, of course, it's like going through the honeymoon phase. Everything's new and fresh and like glorious. Running through a field of flowers in the springtime. Yeah, it feels new and fresh. And uh, however, that can be, yeah, not so. It says, look for feelings and experiences you never had before, such as having felt that much sexual passion with someone else, for example, or even doing something completely new together, like starting a new business venture or project. Just be careful, be mindful, be weary. I'm say weary. Be careful and be mindful of these kind of connections, because that newness eventually wears off. Like you buy a new car, that new car smell eventually wears off. And now it's time for some maintenance, new tires, oil change, spark plugs and all that. You're like, I wasn't expecting all this. I didn't. Yeah, same thing with any kind of relationship, any kind of connection. Um, the newness eventually wears off, and now you're having some conflict, and you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to deal with it. And your conflict, while minor at the time, can lead to bigger issues and big arguments. And now you're fussing, fighting, almost at the point of pointing hand. I know this seems extreme. Trust me, it will. It can gradually get to that level. I've seen things like this in my own eye. Alrighty, number 6 is shows. They show up at a significant time. Soul ties can show up at pivotal points in your life. Perhaps this person showed up at the exact moment you needed helping, healing, or expertise they have to offer. Ask yourself what was going on in your life when you first met and what they had to offer. Here's the thing, not all soul ties are evil, not all soul ties are bad. It's when we feel that we cannot disconnect from that person once they are no longer part of our lives. Their purpose has been served. That's when the problem comes in, is that we feel like we need to keep reining them back in. What is it about that person that you feel so connected to that you cannot let go? What is it about that one song, that one food, that one restaurant, the whatever? You look at a certain outfit and remember, oh, I remember when I went on the date with this person, and you just fall back into those thoughts and those memories, and you find yourself back into a space where you've forgotten. Okay, you fall back into the La La Land version, but you forgot the reality of why you are no longer talking, why you're no longer together, why you're no longer business partners, because something happened, but you're still so connected to this person somehow, and you feel like I just can't let them go. However, when that person showed up at a time and space in your life that you were missing or needing something, it's almost like they were drawn to you or you drew them to you. Again, not to say that person had evil intentions, that person is evil, the situation, the connection was evil or, you know, bad. Just, it is what it is. Yes, we meet people at different times in our life for different reasons. Some people are not meant to be long termers, and we just need to try to recognize who the long term and short term people are and learn to let go when it's time. Yes, it's easier said than done. And so we're going to talk about how to do that. I want to see if anyone else has joined the chat. I would love to hear more for you. Okay, Miss Sophia, she's like, do you feel that soul ties are necessary in people's lives? Um, I would say yes, yes. As a general answer, I don't want to say no, but I feel that soul ties kind of help us learn a little bit more about ourselves as well. We learn what we like, don't like, we tolerate and don't, and it helps us. It helps with a little bit of our self exploration, self awareness. Again, depending on who the person is, the connection is, whether it's romantic or not, whether it's physical or not, professional, personal, whatever. Um, but I think some are necessary. Yes. Have you ever known of a person feeling a soul tie with someone who has a different view? Yes. Yes, and yes. 100% yes. It's, you start out with the connection with someone, and in the beginning, like I said, that newlywed phase, everything seems bright and beautiful and lovey dovey and all that. And then it's like, once you peel off the layers of the newness and everything starts to wear down and the veil is removed, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times. Once you actually start having conversation, you're like, okay, we see things from a different perspective. And based on who you are, you have to decide, am I going to tolerate this? Am I going to be okay with this? Now, of course, we as human beings can agree to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything. But if it's someone you're going to be spending a lot of time with, and depending on what the belief system is, you might want to reevaluate your connection. That's all I'm saying. Um, And then why do you feel that people are extra attached to rejection or negativity? Yeah, that has to do with those wounds, those attachment wounds. And then also, it's like we just feel like we need somebody, no matter how negative, how whatever the situation is. We just feel like this person completes us. They fill a space. We feel like we need them. I can't function without them in my life. When you actually can, and you can function better without that person, their energy in your life. So yeah. So anyone else in the chat, please leave a comment. Let me know you're here. If you have any questions, because otherwise it's going to be a really short lecture series. I was hoping Mr. Best can pop back in and join the discussion. He's been having some technical issues. M3, if you want to join the discussion, please do so. Look, this is a safe space. And tonight I was hoping for this to be more of a therapeutic session because I know that many people um, are dealing with some things and they just don't understand, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I'm trapped and tangled and tied up and I don't know how to break free from, this, whatever. Or people might feel like this is not normal for me. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I doing these certain things? Because it's of the connections you've possibly made with other people. They have rubbed off on you. Have you noticed when you have a certain group of friends, you may say, okay, I'm not going to drink this much. I'm not going to do this. I'm not a partier. But over time, they begin to influence you to do certain things that are outside of your norm. Those are soul ties as well. And so, um, but soul ties often come with conflict. Conflict can be good, conflict can be bad. Oftentimes, conflict with soul ties are not that great. I'm just going to say that. Again, but that's been my experience. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, okay, and then number 7 of how you know you have a soul tie. A part of you feels like it's missing if they're not in your life. Oh, child, this one is personal. It's home for me. Um, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is my truth. So I was married. Said that before. Was married for 13 years. Now, while me and my husband were together, ex-husband, our marriage was shaky at best and barely stable. Yeah, we were almost like just roommates versus spouses. And so we got to a point in our marriage where we were not being physically intimate on any level. We didn't kiss, we didn't do anything. And then he decided we separated. He left. And after we got divorced, after I went through my cycle of emotions, we came back around and were able to actually communicate like adults. And so I felt like, okay, we're better off as friends than spouses. Okay, time went on. He got sick, he passed away. And in that moment in between when he was sick, he had a stroke and it changed him dramatically. It's like I felt this deeper connection with him. Like I wanted to be there with him, I wanted to take care of him, and I felt like he needed me as well. So that was that connection there. And then since he's passed away, I find myself having dreams about him. I feel like a part of me is missing. That friend that I needed is missing. And so, yeah, there's that soul tie. So anyhow, we have to be just mindful of those connections. All right, I want to read this part. It says, and lastly, um, that feeling of having a soul tie with someone can only become painful if things go south. Yes, yes, and yes. As soul ties can often turn into attachment or be mistaken for attachment altogether. A lot of times people may experience a feeling of brokenness, as if part of them is missing because they're no longer connected to this person. Again, that has been my experience since my ex husband has passed away. I find myself literally mourning that friendship. And like, I don't know how it can go on. Even though I have plenty of other friends and associates, I have other male friends that I can, talk to at times. I have brothers and sisters I can talk to. It was just something about him, though, after we got divorced, that was just different. And I can't explain it, and I can't really put it into a whole lot of words, but yeah. So, anywho, I see Mr. Best has joined us. And before we move on, I wanted to give him opportunity to talk about from soul ties from his experience, and we'll into another part of the discussion about can they be one sided and how do we break them. So, Mr. Best. Okay, he said his microphone is out. Okay, well, we're going to keep it rolling. But again, anyone that's in the chat, please feel free to join us. So, Miss Sophia, just a splash says, I definitely adore your answers. Thank you so much. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a person who reads and studies. I know a little about a lot, you know, and I value knowledge. I value reading multiple sources. I feel like we all should do that. Read multiple sources. More specifically about people who are professionals in certain areas who have written books and research. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then Miss Sophia says, I run away a lot. I don't do drama nor problems, but try to help and not be a fair weather friend. Sometimes people overuse me. How can I help me? You're going to have to set some boundary. We need to do a show about setting boundaries. And it's not about being mean. And it's about I am who I am. You're going to respect me or you're going to leave me alone. I have boundaries, and your boundaries are for your safety, for your mental and spiritual well being. Now, you just look, okay, when I put this topic together, Miss Sophia, you better be ready to come up and discuss. We might have to do boundaries next week. So I'm going to put a pin in that and write that down. But it's all about setting boundaries and sticking to your gun and not allowing people to cross them. It's okay to say no. 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 It's a complete sentence. No.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm back. Woo!
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We want to
Oh
say
boy.
hey to a unicorn word. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Unicorn. Hey, family. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay.
So I've been running my mouth. I want to hear from you.
All
So let's
right,
talk
I'm here.
about
I'm here.
your
Sorry about the
experience.
technical difficulties and all that. You know what I mean? The soul ties thing. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna answer also Lady Sophia question. I would say this, right? I think the thing is that we got to do in the black community. We have to start teaching sexual. We have to really have like a whole new way of having sex ed classes for us as a people, sexual education, because we don't have that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the fact is, okay, cool. We can tell them, we can tell the youth, right? Hey, listen, don't do anything with nobody. Wait till marriage, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they should do that, right? Maybe they should do that, QB, right? Maybe they should, right? Maybe in all aspects, maybe that would help, right? But in reality, right, we know that man, these youngsters won't even listen to us when we tell them to go drink some water. I mean, like like they don't listen to nothing. So I think the best thing is just to educate them, right? Educate them, give them the tools they need to protect themselves, right? Teach them about condoms, teach them about protection for the females as well. Female condoms. Teach them about teach the female about her body, teach the male about his body, teach them about puberty, hormones, all these things, so that when they become an adult, they're ready, right? How to look out for diseases, how to look at certain body parts to see if they have a disease or not. You know what I'm saying? Like teach them, teach the kids so that when they get out here, they can be sexually responsible. For us just to tell them not to do anything, like that's gonna just be they're not gonna listen to that. Like they just not because they're gonna want to experiment. They're young, their bodies have changed, the hormones is ranging. You know what I mean? They want to do some things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the thing is that we just got to teach them how to be sexually responsible so that they don't bring a bunch of kids into this world and they don't have people that they're tied to intimately, you know what I mean, because of all the behaviors that they have. You know what I mean? When you're not protecting yourself and you're not educated on certain things, you're gonna be out here just connecting with people and things just gonna be going haywire in your life. You're gonna just be tripping. You know what I'm saying? And your relationships are just gonna be all over the place. You feel what I'm saying? So I think we got to teach some of the adults too, because
Yeah.
some adults don't know certain things. I mean, I'm just being completely honest. Some of them don't know. right? So we have to teach both. We got to teach the youngsters and we got to teach the adults too, because some people just don't know. You know what I mean? I think if we start having these conversations, I think we can limit, the amount of single family homes. We can limit the amount of kids being abandoned. We can eliminate amount of trauma that's happening in relationships. You know what I mean? So, and that's really the thing. So we just have to understand, what we're doing and how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on when we're having that interaction with somebody. You know what I mean? What energies are we transferring when that's happening? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with somebody experiencing that interaction. But once you experience that, understand, or before you experience that, understand the things that you need to take, the things that need to occur before you step into that field. You know what I'm saying? You can't jump in the game and not know how to play. Okay? If you jump in the game and not know how to play, you're gonna lose. And you're gonna lose big time. And then unfortunately, in this game, you can affect not only the life of somebody else, but you can also be affecting a life of a future life, because if a child is born out of your decisions to be with somebody else, man, everything could just fall apart. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because you're not educated. So now you're out here, spreading your wild oats or your seeds or whatever. But these kids are just a byproduct of you not making the best decisions. You know what I mean? Which is sad, and a lot of times that's what happens. To I'm gonna acknowledge some of the comments, and also I'm gonna answer Lady Sophia's question. I would
Okay.
say I would say this, Lady Sophia. I would say basically, you just got to see that you are your own best friend. And you are your own best support system. You know what I mean? Nobody can do that for you. Only you can do that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing that I noticed. Like I had to be my own support system. You know what I mean? And if I'm doing that, then I don't got to run away from things. I can just face things head on, right? And if somebody is not vibing with me, or I'm not vibing with them, I just let it be clear. Hey, I don't vibe with you like that. You know what I mean? We don't connect in a good way. I'd rather just keep it moving, keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And by me doing that, that makes things a lot easier for me and for them. You know what I mean? So we don't have no type of bad interaction or whatever. Everything's cool. Also, let me acknowledge it. Now some comments. She says, "Soul ties, woo." Okay. Hello, beautiful sister. Lady Sophia says, "I love sex a lot, but I haven't done it in 2.5 years. I'm cool with that until I'm mature enough to do the wild thing dance." But but also shout out to Marcus. You know what
Hey,
I mean? Good to
Marcus.
see you, brother Marcus. You know what I mean? Definitely no money for.
Y'all make sure to hit that like button and share while y'all here. How about that? Oh, Mr. Best, what happened?
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my soundboard is acting a fool right now. But yeah, that's kind of just all I wanted to say about that.
Well,
Um,
let me get
eh,
your input on soul ties that are not sexual related. You met
mhm,
someone, personal or business related, and you feel this strong connection. You feel like they complete a part of your life. You met them
mhm.
in a time of your life when you were going through something, and it just seems like, oh, they came along at the right moment. Yes, some people do come along at the right moment, but there are times when God don't always send someone; they just show up. You know. So
Mhm.
talk about your experience, if you had any, with people you felt connected to that you know were not beneficial to your life, that you were not sexually involved with.
I mean, you know, listen, in life, you're gonna meet different people, right? And at different
Mhm.
spaces in your life. I think how you balance things, you just gotta put things in order, right? You can't put everybody on the same level. Not everybody deserves to be on the same level, right? There's some men that you're gonna meet in your life, QB, where they are just a friend, right? He'll
Yeah.
never be more than that. He's just always gonna be friend level, right? Then there may be a guy you meet, he's a friend, but there may be potential you don't really know yet, right? Then there's some
Hmm.
guys who are just maybe business friends or business associates or whatever. Then there's, guys that you may have an interest in. He may be a good boyfriend, maybe somebody you can date, but you don't know if you want to marry him or not, right? Then there's
Okay.
husband material, right? That's a whole different class, right? And that's not a class that everybody is slotted in, right? Husband material is husband material, right? He's not a
Yeah.
friend. He's not a boyfriend. He's husband material. Okay. And I think that's what we have to start doing. Put people in the slots that they belong in, right? And if they haven't earned the right to be in a slot, then don't put them there. Or sometimes they got to go down a slot, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you thought he was subject material, but now he got to get bumped down all the way to associate. Like he not a friend. He none of that. He's always an associate, right? But for each tier, they have to either earn that right or they have to lose the right
Yeah.
to be in that. And that's the problem. We, men and women both. It's not just a woman thing; it's a man thing too.
Yeah.
Men put women in the wrong slot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she got a big butt. I know she look like this or whatever, blah 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 blah. But she's not. She's not your wife, man. She's just not your
Yeah.
wife. She's not the one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or okay, cool. She looks good or whatever, but you're in your mind, you're so messed up. You can't see that she's a wife, and she really is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So but that start a lot of these things that we're able to recognize starts from us being able to connect with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So we're connecting with ourselves, then we eliminate meaningless interactions. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Want to give a shout out real quick to the brother Von Eric. He said shalom all to you brothers
Hi.
as well. You know what I mean? Good to see you. Good to see you. You know what I mean? Yes, definitely. Don't forget that the light. We appreciate all y'all, most definitely. You know, no problem, no problem. I got you.
And you made a really valid comment, and Kirk Franklin wrote a quote about there are oftentimes people confuse soulmate
Mm-hmm.
with soul tie. A soul
Mm-hmm.
tie is simply a connection. You meet someone, y'all connect. You think in the beginning, oh, this is a good connection. They are not always meant to be a long timer. And I said this earlier. There are people who are short timers, people who are long timers. We have to discern for ourselves what role and what place that person plays in our life. The problem becomes when we want to make a short timer a long timer. And also, we don't recognize the signs that this person we're trying to keep around, they're not God sent. They are not beneficial to our soul. They're not beneficial to our life. They bring destruction and devastation, but we're so wrapped up and tied up in our bubble of emotions and the newness of it all that we can't see the destruction that's coming. So you have to be very mindful. And like you mentioned about children, I used to do talks at this junior high school in the health class, and I talked about teen pregnancy. And I would make sure to let them know sex is more than just intercourse. Um, Being connected to someone is more than just intercourse. You can develop a connection with someone. You might like someone more than they like you. That's a soul tie.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if that person's giving you a little bit of time a day and you're like, oh, they like me, but then they keep dragging you and dragging you along and not, you develop more emotions for them because they're just giving you just a little bit to keep you around. Um, they're never going to be fully yours. You're never going to be fully with them. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be very mindful of those type of soul ties as well. And yes, when you do connect with through intercourse, or you don't know what kind of energy you're taking into your life. Um, there are sexual demons, and
Mm.
everybody believes. Some people believe in it, some people don't. I believe in it because I have had dreams, and I've had ministers minister to me that when something good and prosperous is about to happen in your life, certain demons come into your life to take that away from you or just distract you and turn you off your path. But that's a whole nother discussion. I'm not a religious, expert. However, those are my beliefs. Anyway.
I'll say this to that. I don't listen. I don't think there's like anybody that's like a sexual demon or anybody that's unless they like messing with like kids or they're doing like something like they're doing like SA. They doing like intimacy assault. If they're assaulting people, then that's a whole nother situation. And yes, lock them up and throw away the key. But I think the problem is in relationships, like I said, even with that, right? Even with intimacy, right? I think the problem is we don't know how to put certain people on a certain level. Okay, if you're meeting a girl, right, and you first met her, right, you know nothing about her. You know what I mean? Let me let my brother Von Eric in. You first met her, you know, Von Eric, salute to you, bro. Thank you for being here. You know what I mean? You first met this girl, you know nothing about this girl, right? You know nothing about her. Cool. Y'all hook up, you know what I mean? It was what it was, it was what it is. Y'all had a wild night, whatever. You move on. That's not your girlfriend now.
Mhm.
Okay? That's not your wife now. Okay? There's some girl that y'all just did what y'all did, and she's just a girl you hooked up with. You gotta put her in that slot. The moment you start trying to put her into something she don't belong is the moment that you mess up. And I think the women got to be the same way. It's a dude you just met him. Y'all had a few drinks. Something happened. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We gotta really start because we gotta understand that when, especially because I'm talking more to the youth. I'm talking to people our age too, like people who are older. You know what I mean? It's just overall, but what I'm saying is that people just have to start being wise in once they interact with people, what's gonna happen after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just a lack of knowledge. Because listen, we're gonna have experiences that are focused around intimacy, right? That's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like people gonna be bumping and grinding, okay? You know what I mean? No offense to anybody. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to say nothing crazy. But people gonna be getting it on, okay? Better terminology. People gonna be getting it on, okay? That's how we all got here, right? Somebody had to get it on with somebody else, right? And it was what it was. But in that, while you're doing your thing, recognize and understand where this person is at and what the importance is in your life. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that's the thing. We don't understand that anymore. There's no more guidance, there's no more rules, there's no more boundaries, there's no more nothing. And we keep putting everybody in the same category.
Yeah.
And then when we keep getting the same results, we want to blame everybody else. No, it ain't everybody else's fault. You are the one that keep putting these bums in the same category as the kings. Don't get mad because you haven't met you a king yet, or you haven't met you a queen yet. That ain't nobody's fault but you. You need to make better choices. You know what I mean? So we need to be educated so that we can choose better and do better. And that's a fact. Von Eric, what's going on, man? What you want to add to this, brother?
Yeah, thanks for having me up. This is the first time I've been on your platform, 84. I
Hey,
appreciate you.
thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me up, and blessed to the chat, and blessed to you, Queen. But I'm gonna add my 2 cents. I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said and what the Queen said, because it was both wisdom that y'all spoke. I do think that both parties need to communicate much better to one another. When you come in contact, you must know who you're talking to. You need to get to know the person emotionally, emotionally, understanding who they are, how was they raised, how was their parents, how they take care of their kids. All these things must become a factor when it comes to building a relationship and coming together as one. Because you don't want to have that conversation, y'all going back and forth, and the first thing you say, well, you met me like this. You knew who I was from the beginning. And the person on both sides will be true. I think what you said, as far as you putting kings in places where they should not be, and on the other hand, we putting queens in places where they should not be, and people that's not a queen. But I think that we more so have to understand each other and who we are in our lives, and where to place them, like you said, where to place them properly, you know. And what do you have guiding you? Do you have a society guiding you? Do you have BET guiding you? Do you have the stories guiding you? Do you have the TV shows, the reality shows guiding you? Are you using them to make your decisions when it's time for you to pick someone or pick your mate? What are you using? And I think that we should recognize that when it comes to building our relationship.
Yes. Yes, indeed, sir. And I know not everyone has the same religious/spiritual beliefs. Hopefully, you believe in something, and you are using that belief system to as a discernment tool. That's
Mm-hmm.
not quite what I'm trying to say, but a discernment piece for tool, for lack of a better word, for
Mm-hmm.
your life. Hopefully your little antennas are working enough to recognize when someone comes into your life that is not beneficial to your soul at all. We
Mm-hmm.
need to become more aware. We need to stop being so self-absorbed and so needy and greedy and just, whatever other word you can come up with, and start being more aware.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, and I wanna give a quick shout out to Paralife TV. Thank you, brother, for coming in. Appreciate you, man. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We got some awesome content on this channel, man. The brother's an inspiration. You know what I mean? Please definitely check him out. You know what I mean? Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to everyone on the panel. Good evening to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
And
sending their pleasantries and they love. I'm gonna say this too. Because I mean, like, yeah, the religious part, like, that's a whole different topic. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody comes from different religious backgrounds, right? Especially in the black community, like we have man, even in Christian, like, society amongst us people of color, there's so many different denominations. You have Catholic, you got Baptist, you got
Methodist,
um,
Episcopal.
yeah, Episcopal, you got all these different type of things, right? So that trying to even get into that is a whole different thing. But the one thing that we can't argue about, 'cause we can argue about religion all day. We can say, oh, we should practice the way that Muslims get together. We should practice the way that Christians get together. We can argue that all day. Buddhists, everybody, we can argue that all day. But the one thing we can't argue about is the fact, right? And the facts of the matter is that we lack education when it comes to intimacy and when it comes to knowing how to have good relationships that are structured, right? We lack education on that. Even I lack education on that. I'm not fully educated on that, and I understand that, right? I lack a lot of education. I'm still growing in a lot of areas and trying to find my way. You know what I mean? So, but I recognize that. You know what I mean? And I think the reason why we lack it, you know what I mean, is because us as a people, we're afraid to talk to each other about these things, right? We're afraid to have these conversations. It's not just as simple as you just giving the women a bunch of birth control or just giving a man a bunch of condoms. It's not just that simple. We got to start educating each other. You know what I mean? And that's why we have, if you look in black neighborhoods in the inner city, we have some of the highest STD and STI rates across the board in America because there's a lack of education. You know what I mean? We're not educating each other on being sexually responsible. You know what I mean? So because of that, now you have things of soul ties. Now you have these things of kids being left out and kids being part of the system because there's a lack of education. You know what I mean? Listen, like I said, we could argue about, if the aliens are real or if Jesus is real. We could argue about that all day. You know what I mean? But you can't argue about how you need to be responsible when you out here and you want to be sexually active. There's no argument about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Understand the protections that you need. Understand how to protect yourself. Understand, if you need to understand when you need to get a physical. Understand when you need to get you like STD test or STI test. Understand all these things. Okay, know where your local clinic is at. Okay, know all these things. Educate yourself, and definitely please start educating the kids, man, because they really the ones that don't really know. You know what I mean? Grown people mostly know, but some of us don't know, right? But the kids really don't know anything. So really, please start educating them, man, because they're the ones that's really being impacted by this lack of education and a lack of knowledge and a lack of communication that we having with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's causing all of these meaningless and useless connections. You know what I'm saying? And it's continuing. You know what I mean? It's continuing because people, like I said, people don't want to talk about that, man. They don't want to talk about that. And it's sad. So
I want to add another topic in this discussion to further the discussion. And this is about soul ties being one-sided. Have you ever found yourself, you feel attached to someone more than they feel attached to you? That can actually be very toxic at times because you are dreaming and thinking and lusting over them and they are sleeping peacefully at night, not even giving two thoughts about you. And it also speaks to an attachment issue that oftentimes we have. Again, not everything is childhood related, but oftentimes our biggest wounds come from our childhood or some part of our younger years, unless something really traumatic happens later in life. Anywho, we develop these attachment issues. And so someone comes along, we just put them in a space that they don't belong. They don't realize we put them in a space. They don't realize we create this attachment. And now it's like, it's one-sided because they don't return. You do all you can to show them, okay, I'm just going to speak for women. A woman meets a man. She feels like, oh, he's the one or he's this. I can say this because I've been there. And you
Mhm.
do all this stuff. You cook for him, you be nice to him, you dress cute for him, you know,
Mhm.
all this stuff, but
Mhm.
he's not reciprocating the same energy. And
Mhm.
so it becomes one sided and very
Mhm.
toxic. And so I want to hear what you gentlemen, because only you can speak from a man's perspective of how this affects you all.
Mhm. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let Von Eric rock out. I think for men and women both, I'm gonna speak for both. I think it's just knowing your worth, right?
Yep.
Like, like and I mean, it's simple but not simple, right? I'm using a simple example, right? If it's a professional athlete and they know that they are playing at the highest level, they're not gonna take a minimum contract. They're gonna want to get paid the highest that they can get paid based on their
Hmm.
performance, right? So we got to apply the same energy when it comes to different things in our life, right? Especially when it comes to connecting with people, right? If
Hmm.
I know that I'm giving myself the best and I'm putting my all into my career, into my schooling, into my family, I'm working out, I'm taking care of my health, I'm doing all these different things, right? To make sure that I'm the best me that I can be. I'm reading books, I'm meditating, I'm praying, you know what I mean? I'm doing therapy if need to be. I'm creating positivity and love within my own life, right? Why am I gonna let somebody in that is not worthy or not even doing the same thing that I'm doing or better? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's me the value in myself. And then here's the thing, right? And there's keywords that you have to look out for when you're talking to people and you're telling them about different things that's going on with you, right? One, one thing you gotta look for is if they're making eye contact with you, and if they're not making eye contact with you, if you're over the phone, if they're listening, and you know they really care about you, because when you're talking on the phone and you're telling them about something that's going on, they're listening so attentively, you think they're not even on the phone. You think they're not even there, but they listening to you so attentively. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Taking in everything that you're saying, that it's like, oh man, like they really listening to me. Like it'll shock you how attentive they are to everything, and they can repeat everything that you said verbatim,
Yep.
right? They can say, "Hey, you said this, 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 this. This is what happened." Blah blah blah. That's somebody who actually cares and actually in tune, who actually values you, right? But if they
Yeah.
cutting you off, right, or they say, "Oh man, I don't really care about that," then they don't care about you. Okay, words let you know how people feel about you. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? There's something that they call active listening, right? So as you engage in the conversation with me, I'm actively listening. You know what I mean? So I'm listening, but then I'm also responding in a correct manner to let you know that I'm here and that I hear you, right? That you're not just spewing words, but you're being heard as well, and I'm trying to connect with you. So that's the thing. I think a lot of times, when it comes to us, we don't actively listen.
We
You know what
don't.
I'm saying? And and when somebody's not actively listening to you, they don't care about you. You know what I mean? When they're not sitting back and actually really hearing everything you got to say, they don't care about you. So that's one thing. We got to look at the way that they communicate. You know what I'm saying? Then actually after they communicate, then we got to look at their actions, right? What actions are they showing me to show me that they care? You know what I mean? Are they doing different things to encourage me? Are they doing different things to inspire me, or are they reminding me of things that are beneficial to me, that's going to help me be healthy, help me stay encouraged, help me stay focused? Are they doing those things,
Hmm.
right? Because if you're doing that for them, right, like you said, the cooking and cleaning and all, like the woman will do, right? And let's say the man is doing cleaning and he's providing, or he's doing different things as well, right? You're doing these different things, right? Is it reciprocal? And if they're, and while they're doing it, are they really enjoy doing it, or are
Yeah.
they just doing it to pacify you, right?
Yeah.
Because there's women who do things to pacify men, and there's men who do things that pacify women, right? They're just doing it because they just want to pacify them, but they don't really care about them like that. They're just doing it just to do it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We have to look for different cues in that. You know what I mean? And then also a last thing I would say, if they really get your family and the people that you care about involved. You know what I'm saying? If they're really concerned about you, they're gonna get to know who you're around. They're gonna get
Hmm.
to know your tribe, your family, your people, your friends. You know what I mean? Your family, right? They're gonna want to be in tune with them. You know what I mean? And before you even ask, they're trying to figure out, hey, how's your relationship with your dad? How's your relationship with your mom? Man, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, I know you've had some ins and outs, but man, I, What can we? How can we work on it? When they say we, that's a key word. Okay. When they say how can we work on it? Oh, they in. They in like Flint. They there. They care about you. Okay. You got to ask them more questions. Okay. And no, it's just simple. It's just really key things that you just look out for. But when they say I don't care and it's all about them and they always focus on themselves and you can't get a word in and you know what I mean, they just doing little things, you know what I mean? They're not really thinking about you, they always think about themselves then. Get that person out your life, man. They're not really for you. You know what I mean? They don't care about you. You know what I mean? And they're not adding any value to your life. You know what I mean? And don't get stuck on that person and start giving that person more than what they deserve. You know what I mean? Because if you once you do that, you're gonna wind up being behind the 8 ball. I want to give a salute to Queen. Queen, welcome to the panel. You know what I mean? Brother Von Eric, I know you've been waiting patiently, brother. Go ahead and rock out the Queen. Yeah. And also shout out to Big Rick Slaps.
Big ups.
Yeah.
Big,
you got to use we.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear you. I don't hear I want to hear we.
Mm-hmm.
And they know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that was a powerful lecture you did at 84. I don't have nothing.
It was all right. It wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. Don't give him credit.
That's also true in business too, man.
Right.
You want to have business partners that understand the team.
It's not your turn.
The team
84,
aspect.
you're done.
No,
84. No, you've been talking
It's
too
my
much.
show, man. Everybody know it. Everybody know it.
Mute yourself.
Go ahead, Vaughn.
But yeah, I think what you said and what Queen Jones would have established in her question, which is a wonderful question. There's wisdom in her question. It's a loaded question too. But I think what I see that you're saying, and I'm just going to piggyback off of you, is look for consistency within a person to know you don't want to settle. Because you know if you settle, that could be consequences later on. Is this person actually going to change? Do you or not? You always have to remember it's going to come back. You met me like this. You knew I was like this. And as you said before, 84, as far as how you got kids? How are you around your kids? How you raising them? What are you doing around them? How you treat your mom? How you treat your dad? How you treat your family? There's many things that you have to set before so you can know if this relationship is going to last. Who you are as a person also. Who are you? Who you believe that you are. And as you grow, you know the person that you're going to be with, they're going to grow. And just like you said, you must listen to your partner who you're having a date with or going out with. Listen. Don't just look at it as face value, because those words that person is speaking, it's going to carry on later on in your life. Look for consistency. I can't say that more, because some people will just act a certain way in the first couple of days just until they get what they want, and then they're a whole nother person. But a person will reveal themselves because they start off one way, then all of a sudden you'll see who they are because they do it consistent basis, consistent all the time. And you must look at that. And you must value, like you said, who you are as a person. And always look at a person's family to see how their mother raised them, how their father raised them, what the mother do within their lives, how the father did within their lives, what they went through as a child, because it also, sometimes it reveals itself what's in you and what you've been through in life. That's all I really have to say. 84 took a lot of my...
He came in with a good day.
Good day.
I want to welcome my queen, sister Queen Forever. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
All right. So what would you like to add to the conversation? And we have some comments to recognize.
What's the question? Is there a question or?
Not really a question. So we were talking about how soul ties can be one-sided, and then what your experience with that may have been. When they're one-sided, they can often be toxic and unhealthy and unbeneficial for you, because you are putting more into one person than they're putting into you. This doesn't always have to do with sexual partners. It could be anybody you made a connection with, personal or professional. But you made a connection, and now it's like the relationship is kind of wavered, but you're still pouring in, and they're not pouring into you.
I
Or
just
vice-
say 5, 4, 3, 2. Your time is up. That's it. You know, like you know, like
Did she
I
say
don't
what?
know. You know, I say this. Look, like I've poured into a lot of people, and I've been poured into a lot, and I didn't always deserve it. As far as a partner, life partner, husband, you know, like you're, you know, in my eyes, your family is my family. Like there is no separation. There is no, oh, that's your sister, that's your brother. Like whatever they need it from us because we move as a unit. We don't move individually, you know. You have your dreams and aspirations, and my goal is to try to support you in that, you know. And if you had a sister and your sister needed something, your sister needs something from us because that's my sister. That becomes my sister. Your mom is my mother, you know. And I call your mother like she's my mother, you know, and she gets mad when I don't call her. You know, like, hey, I ain't heard from you, daughter. And I'm like, I'm sorry, mom. You know, like I don't even call her, you know, I call her mom, and I mean that from my heart. If she needed anything, she got it tomorrow, with or without my spouse's permission, because that's my mom, you know. So in personal relationships, like friendships, I think sometimes it's hard. Like I remember a college friend, a roommate, like she was like my sister, you know, whatever she needed, like to the point where if we were broke college students and I had $5 one week, she had $2.50 of that $5. And then the following week, if she had $5, I had her $2.50. Like that's how we roll. And as we got older, different things happened and we lost contact. And then when we came back, like we reconnected, it was just different. It was very different. And she had some issues, mental health issues, and it was like she stayed on pause while I was still on play, if that makes sense. And so it became where the things that I needed, she was still back in the college top, queen. Like she wasn't with the new queen. And we just had a falling out. And, you know, and one thing I realized is that I've known this person for over 10 years, and it was a very hurtful situation. We fell out over something very stupid. Basically, we fell out over her not dealing with her stuff from the past. And she projected it on me as if it was me. And I told her, I said, look, let me help you out. If I was still holding on to all the drama and the chaos in college, you wouldn't even know where I live.
Oh wow.
Like I don't play that. So, you know, I felt like I was fighting for something that she was unwilling to fight for, meaning to resolve it, to talk about it. It was like, oh, if you didn't come that day, that meant you weren't really. And so I just, you know, I shed a tear because it was hurtful. I shed a tear for maybe 72 hours. And then on Monday morning, I was like, I'm good. 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up. You know, if you come back, you ain't coming back over here. I'm done. So I think sometimes, you know, you have to know when it's time to let people go.
Yes.
You know, and I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. If I tell you what I need, I said it on a different platform, you know, on a different show. I said, you know, if I'm telling you I need A, B, C, D, and you keep giving me E, F, G, that means you ain't listening. You don't give a damn, and I'm good. 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up. That's it. I'm gonna make a T-shirt. I'm gonna put it on a banner. That's it. People, you got to know when people's expiration dates come up, because it's like you drinking milk. If you don't know when that expiration date, you come drink that, you gonna be in some serious pain. I'm done being in pain for other people.
Yes.
I'm gonna be in pain for myself.
Right.
Vaughn, I definitely want you to. I definitely.
Your time is up.
Your time is up now. Thank you.
Your time is up.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Vaughn, I definitely want you to talk. I just want to give a quick shout out to Mimsy Limbs, aka Scriptures and Church. Hey y'all. Hey Mimsy, what's going on? Good to see you, sis. Good to see you.
Don't be cutting me off.
I did see that. That's what I wanted to just splash. Yeah, I'd seen that, and I think Queen was I think she talked on it too. How long do you, when you're in that type of relationship or any type of relationship, how long when you see it as being toxic, how long do you let it continue?
What is it doing? The toxicity depends on your body and you being able to.
Let me say this real quick, Queen. Let me say this real quick. Lady Sophia,
right,
if you would like to come up, hey, relax. Lady Sophia, if you'd like to come up, please come up. You know what I mean? And because we would definitely like to know and let you share your experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody giving their pleasantries. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Vaughn, or Queen, or whoever, or QB, whatever you want to lead us. What I'm going to talk next. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, I just want to add this. With soul ties, they can become, we talked about them being one-sided. Mm-hmm. And the toxic part comes in when we develop an unhealthy attachment to someone or something because we feel like we need them. We feel like they fill a space versus us doing some self-reflection and self-care and self-work. We got to do the work on ourselves to make sure all of our spots are filled before we bring somebody else into our life to fill a void that they're not equipped to fill. We bring people in our life who are not spiritually meant to be in our life, who are not, who serve no positive purpose. But because we have attachment issues, we have these deep wounds that have yet to heal. For whatever reason, we won't let them heal. We bring somebody or some in, and we develop this attachment, and they become like this. What do you call it? Like a parasite. We develop this symbiotic relationship to this parasite, and oftentimes because we're so deep into it, we don't even recognize how deep we are into it and how toxic it's become because we justify and we make it normal. We make it feel normal, and here we are going through life. Other people can see it around you, but you so caught up in it that you can't see it. And then when somebody try to intervene and help you, going back to our you can't save everybody topic, somebody try to intervene and help and save you from your situation, but you give them pushback. You know what? Go ahead. I'll be here because I love you, but go ahead and experience this moment. Go ahead.
Because we try to save a female and a male. Because I wanted to say the other one, but I'm gonna be nice today. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up. Let me but like we have them in our lives because we want to feel needed. We want to feel it's almost like self-gratification. Like, oh, blah blah blah, this person, they really need me. Look, I've been Captain Tina Saver people, but I'm cool. My cape is for me and those around my crew, my circle. That's who my cape is for. My cape had too many tears and holes and rips, and when my cape needed mending, these same females was nowhere to be found. So guess what? 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up. I'm cool off of you. You ain't coming. You may be around my presence, but other than that, I ain't got no room in the kingdom for you. My rooms, I have many rooms, but it's VIP PP. It ain't just VIP.
Okay,
it's
Queen, thank you.
PPP. Like
thank you, Queen.
It's some serious.
Queen,
it's
thank
serious.
you. Thank you.
It's
thank
serious.
You, Queen. Thank you, Queen.
5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up.
All right. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Lady Sophia, we glad that you are back here, that you're back on. please, we welcome you to share your experience. You know, I know Brother Von Eric had a question for you, so definitely let y'all two chime in.
Okay, I'm just holding my teeth. I love you, Queen.
Now, what you said that you was in a toxic relationship. How long was you in a relationship, and did you let it last as far as toxicity?
Actually, the guy was a gentleman until he stepped over a certain space, and it was negative. How come you don't do this? I thought your dad was a Muslim minister. I thought you was submissive. I thought you was that. And I was like, and I was like, but the things that you're asking, we're not at a place to where I can give you what you want. And so, you know, so like I said, I love sex as much as an animal, but I haven't done it in 2.5 years. And until I find somebody, unless I'm mature enough or we're mature enough, I'm not going to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's what it's about, you know, saying 2.5 women to every man. Go ahead and get your, you know, other 21. 22 women to every man. I'm not fighting you. Go ahead and do your thing. And then it was like, yada, cuss. And I didn't say anything. And then it was like, if you want us to work it out, reconnect with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the twilight zone. So I was like, you know what? We're cordial. I'll give anybody their one time. And then the toxicity rose again. And I was like, you know what? We can, you know, saying we can just walk away. I appreciate calling you my Lord. I appreciate you being this person that I wanted to be. But now both of us can just walk away. And
did you see any? Did you see any from the beginning though?
It wasn't in the beginning. It was just like sheer perfection, what you want to hear and everything. And I guess it was like, you know, saying after a couple of months, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna let the real me go on this show. Cause some people cannot hide. Some people cannot hide that toxicity. They will pinch their arm with a clothespin or either drink it away, but they will not let you know how toxic they are. And then, you know, so as far as this and that and everything or whatever, yeah, my dad is who he is. I am who I am. But, you know, so when I wanted to just peacefully walk away and everything, it was just, you know, saying this and that. And then I was like, you know, I'm dealing with a medical issue and everything. I can't deal with that, but let's peacefully go. And I was like, you know, and if I don't see you around, I'll see you in heaven. And he was like, maybe you shouldn't reach for heaven. Maybe you should reach for the other place and everything.
What?
And so, you know, so, and I was just, it took me, you know, saying I have, you know, so I'm trying to get over blood clots and everything that, and so, you know, so a person up here talking about, you know, saying there was some there were some emails that he sent me that was just really, you know, overhead. And granted, this is a surgeon. You know, I my thing is, I want a black man. And so I was so happy. He was short, but he was a black man. He was a black man, and that's all I saw and everything. And I'm pretty sure he probably did some things that I overlooked, because I'm up here, you know what I'm saying? And I don't wear mascara, but I promise you I was betting my eyes and everything. And I feel bad because there was a gentleman who was reaching out to me, and I was like, yeah. Why? Because he's the color of my palm, not the color of my hand. And that's the person who's talking to me now. He prays with me daily and everything. And so he was like, you know, saying, if a person can't respect you and everything, if you don't want to be with me, you don't have to, but we can pray together. We can do this and that. And so, you know, so I take blood pressure pills. And so, you know, saying for, you know, so a couple of weeks, he was like, you know, saying, get up, you know, so I was like, I'm up. And he was like, well, have you taken your medication and everything? So that's kind of cool. And, you know, so he called me for a video chat, and I was like, damn, I got my hat and my bonnet on. I was like, this so-and-so up here calling just any time of the day. So I had to get me ready. And, you know, so I missed the call. And so I called him back. And, you know, so he didn't do it. So I chatted. I was like, well, you called me and everything. And he said, I called you too. I was like, yeah, I had my bonnet on and I wasn't finna answer the phone and everything. It was okay. So how come you didn't answer, you know, saying when I called you? This This white man had the nerve to tell me he had his bonnet on too. If I can make that excuse, he can too. So
Oh snap!
I'm like, you know what? You may be in there. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is I wanted something that didn't want me. And I'm not saying that all brothers, because I'm still gonna love you. I'm still gonna love you. But you know what I'm saying? I think I sent on YouTube He Is by Heather Headley. And he was like, all while I was listening to that song, I had the peace sign up. And I was like, you know what, God, you made me and you made him. This is just too funny for a white man to listen to He Is. And I love that song. I love that song or whatever. But for you to be a white man putting your fists up, you know what? I'm still going to wait a little bit, but I can rock with you. I ain't gonna let you know that yet, but we gonna get there. I gotta slow down, because one thing that I don't do is I refuse to take baggage from this person to the next person. You too good, and I, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't told me about anything or whatever, but this, he was just like, saying, talk to me. I don't mind hearing about you, about it and everything, because if I want to be with you when you down, I'm down too. And so, I didn't want to hear it from him, though. I didn't want to hear it from him. I wanted to hear it from all of y'all. And I was like, you know what, God, you ain't going to be here too long, because you trying to help a sister out. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Why not?
Well, he may be a short timer, but let him be in the space that he's in. And you'll know when the situation has played itself out.
Exactly. That's why I said, so I'm staying back, but I like the fact that, so I'm not being drugged into something. So I'm definitely, especially now since he claimed he got a bonnet too, I'm really going to, stand back and watch and see what you're doing, because you might not be playing. No offense. I don't want Bruce Jenner and everything or whatever. You might really do have a bonnet, but you know what? I'm going to rock with you, because you're making me laugh, and I really appreciate that.
But more men are wearing bonnets. If you look up and down Instagram, more men are wearing bonnets. I don't know. But anyway, go ahead, Vaughn.
What? Vaughn 84, if y'all wearing y'all bonnet, please, while we all can see it.
No.
I want to see it.
No.
Big red slap. I'm talking to Marcus, all of y'all. M3.
No.
I know M3, Miss M3 was like, you better not, don't even say nothing. You better not, don't even respond to Sophia. Something wrong with her.
But you said that you said the brother acted a certain way and you couldn't get with, and you said you went over as far as the other guy. You said you passed him by because he wasn't, the color of your palm, not the color of your hand.
Exactly.
So what are you looking for? So what are you looking for in the one that you're dating now, trying to get to know? What are you looking for? Because first you said color, you wanted a black man, but it's what's in the man that we should be looking for, correct? What's in
exactly. I've worked, even though, my house was foreclosed and everything, I've had a house before, cars, I can get, this and that and everything. So whatever you can get is fine. It's like right now, I'm dealing with blood clots. I have pains in my shoulder and, so I'm trying not to stress myself out, because I don't want them until, we get to where I need to be. I don't want them to move to my head. I don't want them to move to my heart. So what I want somebody to do is to laugh with me, have fun with me. I'm gonna get better, but I don't need any, go to hell or, well, that's why you sick or this and that when I need you. What I want is for you to, even if you're, like a state away, I want you to virtually hold my hand and make me feel good. I want you to virtually be there for me, because people don't understand. A person can worry the hell out of you and then you're in the dirt. A person can talk negatively to other people and they delete themselves off of the earth. And even though I consider myself a strong person, at that particular time, for the person who called me queen and told me, well, one day you're going to be Mrs. Blah, blah and everything, and I love you. And, so I respect your dad for making you and this and that. I'm like, ooh, if my ancestors looking at you right now, they probably want to turn around and, have another version of about them wrote in the Bible. And
Mhm.
the thing of it is if it's over, it's over. I'm okay with that, but don't try to completely break me down. Don't try to harm me. And it's when I said, okay, well, it's not gonna work, then what I'm saying, maybe you should find somebody else. Then I was everything but a child of God, cussing, hollering, B's, H's, probably LMNOPs and stuff like that. And I didn't understand, saying the toxicity. I still kept my receipts and everything, but it was another content creator who he talked about, and she's a very sweetheart. But he was like, okay, well, I stopped talking to her because I'm showing how faithful I am to you. And, it may have seemed bad on my part. I didn't even introduce her to what he was saying, because my thing is, man, you let sleeping dogs lie. If a person is that bad, I'm not going to hurt my friend or somebody who, I love and I'm close to. A lot of people, since say they're your friend, y'all actually are. I don't have anybody else.
But
I don't have.
Do y'all think? Because I know Queen forever said the 5, 3, 2, 1 thing, and she said goodbye. But I would like to know how long did she do? How long it took her to go to the 5 to the 3?
let me before Queen comes in, let me say this real quick. Based on what Lady Sophia, no, you good, bro. Based on what Lady Sophia is saying, I just think that, I think that. How can I say? I think that you just have to take your time when you're making these connections with people and you're getting to know them. You know what I mean? Because people would just say whatever. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
my thing is that what I tell people, or what I just tell women nowadays, is that if a man is serious about you, he's just gonna do certain things off top. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta worry about paying for no first dates and nothing stupid like that. You don't gotta worry about him coming to your location and him flying you out. You know what I mean? All those things he's gonna do off top. I'm not saying he's gonna be rich or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to ask him for certain things, because certain things he's gonna do. That don't mean that he's a bank. Okay, that don't mean that you're just asking for money at odds on ends and he's giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars all the time. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Okay. But that means that once y'all build a certain connection and you ask that man for something, and when you ask him for something that actually makes sense, right? It has to make sense in order for it to make dollars. You know what I mean? You can't be asking a man for a whole bunch of money and it ain't making no sense. Because they ain't going to be like, well, why you need all this money for? At least he should be asking you that, right? So, you know what I mean? With that being said, you know what I mean? If he's really serious about you, he's going to make the plans. He's going to dictate the pace. He's going to make sure things are taken care of. He's going to do all that. You know what I mean? If you're showing him that you're worthy of those things being taken care of, okay? So it's a twofold thing. You got to show that you're worthy, and then he has to be willing to do it. You know what I mean? And if that's in all accord, then it's gonna be real off top. You know what I mean? Thank you, Big Rick. Yes, it's definitely a fact, man. Definitely a fact. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, women, y'all have to start looking out for that. You know what I mean? Don't be meeting men in different locations that's outside of his location or your location. That's a dub. Okay? If he lives in Philly and you live in Texas and he wanna meet in Ohio, nah.
Exactly.
We either doing Philly or Texas. I don't know where the hell Ohio came from, but it's either Philly or Texas. Because some of y'all be doing the most weirdest things ever. I ain't never heard of no man who's a man asking you to meet him in a location where he don't live and you don't live. Who does that? That makes no sense entirely. So women, please be careful. Be careful of certain things. Okay? You know what I mean? And judge a man by his actions. Okay? If he's doing things for you, he's paying for things for you, he's taking care of things for you, judge him by that. You know what I'm saying? Judge him by that. And also judge him by how far he's willing to go with you. If he ain't willing to go as far with you, as you're willing to go as far as with him, then things need to change. You know what I mean? But if he lets you know off top, listen, this is what it is, this is what I'm about, it's up to you to accept those terms and conditions. Don't get into something with somebody and then you're not willing to accept what that brother is telling you or what that sister is telling you. You know what I mean? But especially for men. So if a man lets you know what he is up front, You either accept it or you don't. Don't get mad because you accepted something that you don't want to be a part of. Ron Everett, go ahead, brother.
Oh no, you did a great job, brother. That's true. That's facts. I don't have nothing to say. I don't want to.
Oh no, you had a question, I believe. I know you had a question.
Oh, I just wanted.
Queen.
Queen. How long did it take to her to get from 3? Because she said 5, 3, 2, 1. So how long did it take to get her from 5 to 3? What did she put up with from 5 to 3 and 3 to 2 to 1? Before,
it would take me a lot longer. But I think it's a process. It doesn't just happen. Because even in me saying I'm done, depending on how long and deep the friendship was, it still has lingering factors. But it doesn't control me, meaning, I may think about the person, or I may be around something that reminds me of this person, but it doesn't make me go, wow, I miss that person. It just makes me go, wow, our friendship just wasn't meant to last. Like it doesn't make me reminisce, oh, we had such great times, and make me go, if I reminisce, it makes me go, wow, I didn't see those warning signs earlier, or I didn't see that. So I don't know. It depends, because if I'm in a bad mood, man, I move real quick through the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it just depends. So I try not to move, because when I move too quickly, I make very irrational decisions. And then I have to come back, and I don't like double backing. I don't like going back and saying, I was wrong for that. Or, if I'm going to be done, I'm going to be done. So I'm going to take my time and be done versus backing up and having to apologize.
I love you, Queen. Sense. You so mature. Yeah, I don't double dip either.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Please don't make me dig my shank up out of the water and everything or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna have to just put this down.
Sophia, I got you in the back chat. I just go click. This is ready to move. I just pinned the address. I ain't even saying nothing. So when you see an address, just roll up, ready, lock, stock, and barrel.
Look, I don't know what type of militia thing y'all trying to get going on, but y'all need to get up out of here with all that. This little female gang y'all trying to get going on. And I want to respond to what M3.
It's called the sisterhood.
Yeah, whatever. I want to respond to what M3 said in the comments. He said, these females won't listen to you, Mr. Best. Well, they need to listen to somebody. Okay, they need to listen to somebody, all right?
Men need to listen to.
And here's the problem. And I think this is so key, right? If I'm asking QB advice, right? I'm asking for her advice about how a woman will think, right? And she tells me how a woman thinks, and I get mad at QB for telling me how a woman thinks. That doesn't make any sense, okay? I'm asking QB, I'm like, hey, QB, hey, do women think like this and the third? And you like, hey, Mr. Best, well, this is how we think. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is how we move, because I'm a woman, I know. And I get mad at you. How does that make any sense? And I feel like that happens a lot of times, okay? Stop asking men and women for how the same sex that they think, and then they tell you, and then you get mad at them. That don't make no sense, okay? That's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen. People, hold on, Queen. Women will ask me, how do women think? And then I tell them how men think, and they still get mad. So why are you asking me then? You just want to do what you want to do. So just do what you want to do. Don't ask me no stupid questions, okay? Because I'm just going to tell you the straight answer, and either you're going to like it or you don't. And yes, I know I'm going off right now, but it's all good. I got to cook on this one. Because I'm so tired of that. Because when you really tell them the truth, and you tell them, look, this is how we move, they're like, oh, you're not all men. You just asked me how men think. I just told you how we think. Now I'm not all men. What do you want? So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Really, salute to Wally real quick. Salute to you and salute to Truth. Go ahead, QB.
Hey, Truth. Hey, Wally.
Hey, check out Wally. Wally had a good show today too. Wally had a good show today. Big ups to him for that show that he did about the R&B singer Her. Okay. Great show. Great
Salute to Wally. Salute to him, for real.
What y'all say about her? No, stop.
No, about her
Don't be
case.
dragging her. No, stop.
No, it's about her case that she's going through and the
Okay.
things that happened to her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm gonna have to check out the replay because she first made, I think, a really big debut on the Today Show years ago, and she's a wonderful, wonderful young lady. So I'm definitely thank you for telling me that, Von Eric, because I will definitely check out Wally's replay.
Alrighty. So I want to say this and shout out to Wally and Truth. I've been missing y'all in the conversations. So Vaughn asked a question earlier to Sophia, which this is off topic. This is just an addendum to the topic. You asked her about why she prefer a certain ethnicity over another. I can speak from my perspective as a Black woman. At the end of the day, we want someone we have a shared connection with, shared experiences with. And we just feel that a Black man, most Black women feel that a Black man is that person. We understand what collective trauma is. We understand what it feels like to go into the world with a bullseye on your back at all times. We understand what it feels like to be mistreated, underrepresented in certain spaces, and to face microaggressions and everything in between. So it's like you want that safe space. When you come home, you can physically and technically let your hair down and just breathe and be yourself with your partner who shares similar experiences with you. On the other hand, that other partner of another ethnicity, they might empathize, but if they've never experienced it, they cannot fully understand and feel what you feel. So I get where Sophia's coming from. I will always love Black men. I always will prefer Black men. That's my preference. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
Hey, look, let me answer that question. Look, you gotta be able to know where my comb. We gotta be able to use the same grease. We got you need to understand that 1 week my hair may be down to the floor. Next week it's to my ear. I don't need to explain nothing. I don't need to explain my little circles that end up around the sink when I'm combing my braids out. You understand what that means. You got my fishtail comb, you got my wide tooth comb. You understand what that means. You see the hair on the chair, on the back of the chair, because I'm about to braid my hair. You understand what that means.
I love it. I love it.
You see my edge control. You see my baby hairs popping. I don't need to explain that to you. Right. You see my silk bonnet near my bed on my nightstand. You know where it's going.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. You gotta understand. You gotta understand.
If they understand that you're good with it, then right.
But it also, see, you gotta understand, but you gotta relax, release, and relate. If you can't do those R's for me, then you ain't supposed to be with me.
Okay.
I was, I grew up in an area where I was around a lot of everything, and they were cute, they were good to look at, but I did not want to bring them home to my mama and daddy. So I knew preserving the Black family and the Black race was embedded in me. Mm-hmm. And although, I dated, but they don't even consider dating outside your race, because it's Dominican, it's Puerto Rican, it's Jamaican, it's Nigerian. So they still they was darker than me at times, but I wanted to be with a Black man. Yeah. That was my vision for. That was what my dolls looked like. If my parents bought me the white Barbie dolls, they were brown by the end of the night, because I had a marker and Ken was Black. You know, Ken was brown, you know, whatever, and he matched Barbie. So, you know, yeah.
Sure.
I
So
love
no.
it. I love it, Queen. I love it. And I know this man, the one of the first things that he was like, can you cook for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, have you ever talked to or dated a black woman before? And I can say this because he's not here. Well, I would say it in his face, and he know that I wouldn't have a problem with it. He was like, I have a bunch of black friends. And I was like, oh hell.
That's
And so
the
I'm like, I said, I'm trying to understand. I said, this is gonna be different for the
That's the
simple
deal
fact.
breaker.
But you know what? I told him. He said, so I want to be with something better, and I was trying to hold on to it because I mean, you saying that is not gonna impress me. And he was like, I've never been with a black woman. I want to see it. I want to see the joy and everything. The thing of it is that
Go date one of your black friends.
if well, see, here's one of the things. I sympathize with him, but the sparkle that you see in a black woman's eye when she looking into a black man's eyes and everything or whatever, it's not gonna be the same. And so I'm trying to get him to understand that. And he was like, but if I love you, would that make a difference? I was like,
What?
not even close to it. We right now, so I was like, I said, because if you with a bunch of white folks and everything, and you've never been with a black woman, I said, at your age and everything, because we're in the same age bracket, I said, watch how they look at you differently and see if you still want to be with the black woman, because that changes a lot.
But being a black woman, I'm not a goddamn fruit that you pick from a tree because you want to sample it. The hell is
See?
that?
Well,
That sounds sick. That sounds stupid. That's like you saying you gonna refer to me as a black woman because you ain't never had it. That you gonna refer to me like a fancy restaurant down the street that you want to try out. I'm not. My value is more than to be tried out. What the hell?
And I can understand that. That's why.
Then why can't you try out your black friends? Because they don't want you.
Hold on, Queen. Hold on. Pause for 1 second. Pause for 1 second. Pause for 1 second.
Uh-oh.
No, I want you to continue to cook, Queen.
Cool.
But I want to welcome in my brother, my brother Truth, right? And also M3. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
M3 Knowledge and Relationships,
hey,
also M3 TV Network. Please check out the new content that he has up. All right, he got some bomb videos that he just put up on M3 TV Network. Queen, go ahead and cook. Then Truth, then M3. Go ahead, everybody. Chime in.
Go ahead and finish cooking, Queen.
Queen?
No, I was just gonna say that don't even sound right. That's like you got me behind a damn cage and I'm some exotic animal that you want to go touch. The hell? That don't even sound right, and you too old for that. If you are at a certain age and you have yet to experience the black woman because you see all this stuff on TV and you think we exotic, that means you didn't deserve us. You don't deserve to taste the rainbow. That's all I'ma say.
That is
These
too
Skittles
funny.
ain't in your store.
Lord have
You
mercy.
can't buy them. They ain't for sale. You ain't tasting the rainbow. So get over it. Go get you some Nutella and go sit in the corner.
Wow.
That is too funny.
That's going to be another men versus women
That's going to be a double
Exactly.
I held his hand. Why I didn't say it like that or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. I just let him know that if you've never been with a black woman, I don't care what age you are, or whatever, it's going to be something different. You're going to be treated different and everything or whatever. And if you don't think that there's a difference, then when a person get mad and they lie, ex Emmett Till. I'm gonna go there with George Floyd for the simple fact, regardless of what you did, you don't deserve a knee on your neck. There's certain things that my uncle actually got he got castrated because of a lie that somebody told. So there's certain things that I can sympathize with it when it all boils down. If you have common sense and if you're nice and everything. I personally don't have a problem with it. I just want, say somebody to where I can mature with. If it's, it's if a black man don't want me, I promise you, I can love him until, be black, white, yellow, pink, purple, green, or whatever. If you don't like me, then I can respect that and everything.
Right.
My thing is the toxicity is gonna pull me back. I don't care what color you are. That toxicity is gonna pull me back. If you can love and respect me, I can get over that hurdle. I can get over. I'm not gonna turn around and love you, but then turn around and no disrespect to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I have moved on because I don't even ask for reparations. My ancestors that could have asked for it, they're dead and gone. I want to move forward, and I can't move forward as a human being unless it's certain things that I have to let go. But I do agree with Queen. No, no touching the, no touching the exotic animal or thinking it's this and that, because we're not, to be sampled like that. But as far as somebody who want to be with me and they saying that, they just want to move on. Me, myself, personally, for me, I can try that. I want maturity. I want this and that and everything. Because I'll tell you right now, it's more black men that's called me B's and H's than white men who have called me the N-word.
Lady Sophia, pause right there. Pause right there. Got to get to my brother Truth, and I got to get to them three. Then QB, take it where you want to take it. Go ahead, brother Truth.
Hey, how y'all doing today, though? Good evening.
What's going on, family? Blood in, baby. It was good.
How are you?
Good. Good. I'm doing. Listen, you starting already talking about you can't sample me. I ain't no damn piece of fruit. Yeah, it ain't a never dull movement over here, man. I'm trying to tell you. All right, so fill me in. Where we at? I was just tripping off a Queen. She said I ain't no damn exotic animals.
The topic is soul ties, which I do want to address. Wally and Big Rig Slap's comment. That comment was in reference to people of other ethnicities looking at Black women, especially as exotic, whether animal, just exotic. We don't say exotic. I don't identify with animal. Anyway, that's just where that animal reference came from. But moving on. Okay, so Truth. We're talking about soul ties. How do you know you have one? Can it be one-sided? Most of them are toxic. What does it look like? What has been your experience that's oftentimes non-sexual, a non-sexual connection, but also, yes, sexual, that you feel like you tied up, tangled in, connected to someone that is that's not healthy and beneficial for your life?
Well, it's the way you. All right, so a soul tie basically is like a spiritual binding, and what I mean by that is it's actually like what it says. It's like where your soul is actually tied to another individual, entangled to the point where you actually feel like withdrawal from them. It be like that intense, like that. It's like being addicted to something. And a lot of times, sometimes it'll cause other characteristics like anger, depression, all those different types of things. But it usually happens when we get love confused and infatuation confused with a thing called obsession. A lot of us do that. And once you become obsessed, this is usually developed from a soul tie. And that's when it becomes very unhealthy, because it's like when you see something that isn't like beneficial, it's not increasing who you are, it's making you lose weight, you don't want to take care of yourself and things like that, that becomes very problematic. And now essentially you have made another person your God. That's the way I look at it. You essentially unknowingly stepped into covetousness and idolatry when this person has that type of control over you. And the way you break them is basically you got to purge yourself, essentially fasting. You need to do everything that's possible to get away from that person, that connection. And for as long as it takes for that healing process. And then also you got to understand and recognize why it's not healthy for you to even be involved with that individual.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I always strongly suggest people, please do not have multiple sexual partners, because these things happen frequently with sexual multiple partners. You take on characteristics and certain things. You'll have an attitude. You don't even know why you have an attitude. You don't know why you're doing some of the things that you didn't used to do. Certain habits, habitual tendencies. You start taking on another person's likeness and all types of stuff. It's really a spiritual warfare out here. So, yeah, that's pretty much.
All right. You sound like you've been reading my article. Those are the very things I talked about in the beginning. Yes. It's like we have this space that we're trying to fill, and this person comes along, and we think they're supposed to fill that space. Unfortunately, they're not, but we become so attached to them, we don't want to let them go. However, they are draining our life force, and we don't understand why. So, anywho, I'm going to fall back and M3, and then we'll answer Wally's question.
Okay. So basically, like, what are soul ties, or just
Like your
my
experience, or perspective.
it kind of relates to like what Truth was saying, like, like it's a connection where I feel like it's a spiritual aspect, but even if for the ones who don't look at it as a spiritual aspect of it, like, it's definitely like a connection, a connection, a bond that you just have with that person that you're with. And so it's like the things that other people may not understand, but only you and that person you're connected with will understand each other. It's kind of like, I can't explain it, like, make it simple for you guys, but I would just say, like, the connection is definitely there when it comes to tying like in one soul, pretty much. So.
And so I want to address Wally's question. He asked about, do we example who have these soul ties more? Can you repeat or reword that question? I'm not quite understanding, and I don't want to misunderstand what you're trying to say. Wally. I don't know if he's asking if we talked about who has
Wally,
more.
just come up here, man. Just come up here and ask your question, brother. Thank you.
Right, that's what I was going to say. He should just come on up so we can,
And as I stated before, a soul tie is different than a soul mate. Totally different concepts. And you should know if you have your spirit of discernment turned on, and if you are more self-aware of who you are in your surroundings, and you connected with yourself, you should know if your energy is being drained, your life source, your attitude has changed, your mood, your, like someone mentioned, your eating habits, and if you picked up some bad habits and things like so, you should be aware when things start happening. If you feel like when this person's not in your presence, you are literally lost without them. You feel like you're sick without them. You just feel you need them. You have developed an unhealthy attachment to this person. That is a soul tie. And yes, there are many ways, some key ways to eliminate that. Truth mentioned some. And so we're going to talk about that when we get closer to the end before we wrap up. But
Wally's here. He's right here. He just popped
okay.
up. So yeah, go ahead, brother. Ask your question, brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hey, Wally.
What's good, brother?
Yeah. No, so what I asked was, did we express like who has the soul ties more between men and women?
It really just depends on the type of relationship, how the connection started, who you are as an individual, what your attachment wounds are, how deep they are, and what space you're trying to essentially fill in your life, or you're trying to put that person in where they don't fit. So it's an individual thing. I would like to say more women, but again, I'm not trying to put us down, but women are known to get attached really easily. Um, that's just my personal opinion.
I
Uh,
kind of have to agree with you on that too. And I would like to say, let me hear up and step on your toes. There are two people when I had my situation that I talked to. These are unbiased, in my opinion, people who I can get like the cream of the crop. When I had my situation going on, there's just two people. Didn't let it known, say I can talk here because that part is, but as far as my guidance and who I went to for, since certain things, all opinion matters, but I had to go to where I know a person, saying what, so understand me, knew how to talk to me, probably have seen experiences like mine. And you have to find somebody, not who's going to baby you, but who's going to be in your best interest.
Mhm.
So shout out to those of anybody here who can connect with somebody and pull them up when they're down.
Okay. Wally, you have
Hmm.
anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean that was it. That's all I want to know.
Okay.
I'll say something. You know, I was just about to disagree with you. Only because now these days, we have the high level of simps that just have that, attachment for women. But you actually do make a good point, QB. And I think because of, women are, you guys are more in tune with your emotions. It's easy for you guys to have those type of attachments, but it's only on the emotional side. And the
Yeah.
reason why that's like that is because the majority of women have some of these fairy tale type of expectations. They want the Prince Charming. They want the man who's gonna fight for them. Risk it all. Just to save themselves. And you know, I would say kind of like chivalry a little bit.
Okay.
So I think you guys get in tune with the fantasy a lot. And
Yeah.
so whenever you guys meet a man, it's easy for you to have that attachment because you already had that expectation. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I disagree with both of y'all completely.
No. Well, I
Completely, I
disagree
disagree
for a
with both of y'all.
woman. We
I
do
disagree with both of y'all
develop
completely.
fantasy. Okay, I'm gonna let you
Disagree with both of y'all
disagree,
completely.
but
Let me tell you why. Men feel that way too. We feel that way, but we can't say that publicly because if we say that publicly, then they're gonna call us a punk. They're gonna say we whoop. They're gonna say that they're gonna be talking about us like a dog. You know what I mean? We can't express those emotions. If we try to express that emotion, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? We could probably tell our boys, some of our boys, not all of them, right? We could probably tell our dad or our uncle or somebody, but even then we kind of got to be careful because they may start getting on our head. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you do? What you what boy? What you a punk? Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't have a safe space to say that. We don't. Women, man, look, y'all can be the guy that y'all just met at McDonald's, and you can hurt your feelings, and you can start crying and boo-hooing, and the whole community will come and give you a hug, and everything all good. We do that. If we have a girl that we meet at McDonald's, share our feelings, man, we told to get over it, straight up. So we know we don't have a safe space. You know what I mean? Men don't have a safe space to say that. You know what I mean?
You gotta go hide.
Wait a
in the book
minute. Wait a
or go to
minute.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
Look,
go
oh
hide.
my God. Oh my God.
that
It's
sounds
not
like
funny. It's not funny.
y'all men here on this panel need to start a support group,
Yeah.
a safe space, and say men are welcome. Express yourself how you feel. No consequences, no retaliation, no, whatever. And y'all spread the likeness around the world.
Okay, hold on for a second, right? Well, one, right? We do, but you guys usually come to our space and try to tell us how wrong we are, though. But then
You gotta
two, right?
set boundaries.
Hold
No
on,
women around.
I'm not done yet, right? But then two, I'm talking about more of okay, when it comes to damn, what was that point that you were saying? What was the thing that you said before, QB? That women have I forgot what I was gonna say. It was about not an expectation, but it was something else.
Fantasy. We live in a fantasy bubble sometimes.
Well, okay, that wasn't the right word I was gonna say, but but basically what I was gonna say about as far as like with the men, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the emotional attachment. That was the part I was gonna say. Okay. Women do have more of emotional attachment because you guys do live in a fantasy land. Men, simps, have that emotional attachment only because of scarcity. And the reason why I said with scarcity is only because most of these simps, right, are not really used to interacting with a lot of women anyways, especially if they're pretty. So they don't really know how to act. And because of that, that's why, like, they would be the same like women, but the majority of them, if we do like a ratio, is mostly women, that have that emotional attachment. It
depends on the individual. It depends on the individual.
No.
Scarcity.
Like I said, that's why I categorize women and I categorize for simps. But as far as with those two, mostly, I'm just talking about like in the ratio rise.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
We can always
You're
say,
right.
We can always say, like, the old usual that you women will say, well, men feel it too, or men think that way too. Yeah, of course, men think that way, but if you do a ratio of it, right, do the majority of men carry that emotional attachment? Because if men were emotionally attached, most of them wouldn't be like, like going around like cheating with women, And I'm not even saying like all of them, but most of them. Especially like the ones that most of women usually go after. Because y'all don't really go after the Sims, y'all go after the Chaz though. So, let's talk about that.
We go.
Oh, let me say this quick. I still disagree with you on 3, but I want to give a shout out to brother Razik, right? You know what I mean? Definitely shout out to you, bro. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, brother. I want to say this. This is why I disagree with M3, right? I disagree with M3 because here's the thing. Men, we mask it, right? We mask it by going to work. We mask it by drinking sometimes, by sports. You know what I'm saying? By a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? We not gonna say it. You know what I mean? Because we told that we can't say it. We told that it ain't cool for us to say it. You know what I mean? Of course you're gonna feel the way you done met this chick. Y'all done rocked out. Everything was cool. You did what you did, whether it was intimacy or whether y'all went out to eat or whatever. Right? Y'all connected. Right? Now she don't want to rock with you no more, or you don't want to rock with her no more. Whatever the case may be, you're gonna feel the type of way. But as a man, right, we're told that we cannot express that same emotion because if we do, we're gonna be publicly shamed. Right? We're gonna be shamed. We're gonna be shamed by our own family. You know what I'm saying? I've had it happen to me. You know what I mean? My own mother called me a punk. You know what I'm saying? So listen, this is real. This is what happens to men. You know what I mean? Like, so both of us have expectations, right? But then the thing is what happens is that like women, they're told that okay, they can express the expectation on all types of emotional levels, right? They can cry about it, they can yell about it. Hell, they can throw stuff if they want to. They can break stuff if they want to. Oh man, she just went over a breakup. It's all good. Yeah, I know she broke the TV. I know the TV cost $2,000, but you know what? She just went through a breakup. Be easy on her. And we go through a breakup, we break a TV, man, the cops being called, you know what I'm saying? We being told that we crazy. We told we need help and all that. Like, it's different. We know we can't respond the way they respond, so we got to find other outlets.
You ain't lying.
Right, because the women, they can cry inside the house. We got to wait till it rains so we can go out.
That is unfair.
Thank you, bro. I got to clip that.
You don't have to take it to the grave. You're just in the wrong house.
I will say with the individual, when he wanted to express himself, I listened and everything. He actually told me, Sophia, this is what you do. You run. You don't stay the course. You got to have your, be your backbone, do this. So he was a good person when it was good times and everything. But when it was something drastic, he went, he just flipped the script. But I have to understand that He was nothing wrong with women, but he was raised by his mom. His mom did not even allow his dad to witness his birth, his upbringing, or anything. And her thing was, from what he said, is that I'm so sick and tired of you. I'm done with you and everything. I can take care of our son myself. I don't need you. So this is a man who's pretty much driven on, you know, saying feminine, you know, saying balance. So I mean, even though it's not a balance because it's not men and women and everything. So when he exposed certain, you know, certain things or whatever, he was like, "Will you talk about your dad because you love your dad?" I didn't even have the opportunity to I don't even know what my dad looked like, and I was there for him when we turned around and had an issue. I got what I'm pretty sure he was bred to do, and that was act the fool.
Mhm.
Yeah, because listen, we different. Like men have testosterone, women have estrogen, right? So of course, because of those two things, right, we gonna respond differently. But we feel the same thing. Like when we both have a family member that passed away, we both sad. Don't get it twisted. We both sad. But as a man, we gonna process it differently. You know what I mean? And like I said, the way we process it is gonna be different because we know that the way that we react ain't gonna be taken the same way if y'all react that way. We know that already. We are knowledgeable of that. We are told that from the time that we are small that we got to react a certain way. So we gonna react a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's right or wrong. Now, I think it's not healthy for men to do that. I think we need to let those emotions out. Maybe we need to cry sometime. Maybe we need to, go do some things to get some therapy or whatever to get over some of the things that are really impacting us. But at the end of the day, we know we can't respond the way that y'all respond. We know that for a fact. And every man up here know that. We know that.
Well, I hope he's watching this show for the simple fact, Mr. Thing. I told you, if you want to see real men, I cannot do that for you. You got real men up here. You ask a man how to be a man. I'm a woman, but I was there and I had your back. And when I turned around and had issues, you told me to, to suck it up, to do this and that. You always leave M3 show because you like to run away. Sophia, have a backbone, do this and that. I hope you watching this show and you hearing real men, and so you can become a real man. That's all. I'm done.
Well, some people are not going to choose to be real men, but see, my point is not about like, okay, an emotional attachment does not mean that, okay, like you have to cry or whatever. That's not even what I'm describing. I'm just describing more like, okay, internally. Like, okay, your emotional attachment could be like, man, if this person's not around, I'm not going to be able to focus on my task. I'm not going to be able to focus on my activities. Yeah, I mean, that part I agree. As far as like, we need to be expressive and cry. And I know we don't have those opportunities to do that because of society. Like that's far beyond what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is that like, it's that internal presence, from that person that you have when you're not with that person. You know what I mean? And when you are with that person, like you are like a different man. Whereas like, women, the majority of them, I don't know, it's just something about like their emotions, they're more in tune with their emotions. And I guess it does go back with society, allowing them to express their emotions. So I guess in some instances, like, I could somewhat agree with you, Mr. Best, as far as like, society's aspects. But I just want to let you know, like, my meaning of emotional attachment was something different.
Oh, most definitely, brother, most definitely. Like, but it's like I said, for men, we know, like, look, we can't be focused too much on that emotional shit because we got to go out there and work because ain't nobody gonna give us nothing. You know what I mean? If a woman can sit back, right? A woman can sit back and she know if she talk to the right type of dude, some dudes will help her get certain things. You know what I mean? They may pay a little phone bill here and there. They may take her shopping here and there. Hey, they may even get the nails done. You know what I'm saying? And all she gotta do is bat her little eyes and she can get things done. Women know that. Okay? They know that. Men, listen, that's not happening for you. You bat your eyes, they're gonna think that you got an eye problem. You know what I'm saying? You bat your eyes if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But look, it's different. No, I mean we know that. Look, for us, we got to go out there and get it and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, ain't no excuses. When you turn 18, you expected to shine, baby, at all times. They ain't no. Oh man, I don't feel like it. Oh, I had to break up. Nah, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what I mean? They just looking at you as a man, and they looking at you to do the optimum at all times, no matter what's going on. They don't care about your love life. They don't care that if she broke your heart. They don't care about nothing. They don't care if she mess with your homies. They don't care about none of that. All that is out the window. All they care about is your results as a man. That's it.
Yeah. And let me put like a disclaimer too, though, right? So other women could understand. You know, as a woman, right, the younger and prettier, okay, the younger and prettier you are, the less you have to work. Okay, you could have zero to a minimum effort at all in what you do. Okay, because you guys are born with a cheat code, thanks to that box that's in between your legs. So I just want to make that clear to everybody, right? Because not every woman is the same. Not every woman is the same.
Whose fault is that?
Okay.
With the
It
dumb thing between your
doesn't
legs.
matter whose fault it is.
It's your
All
fault.
Blame,
Dumb thing
if
between
you
your
want to
legs.
blame or something,
That's
blame it
whose
on
fault
God. Okay?
That's
I didn't make
whose fault
this.
it is.
All right? And I didn't make these hormones and all this other stuff. So you
That's whose fault it is.
blame it on the man upstairs. But
pulled
other
out.
than
No,
that,
don't blame
I
it
just
on the
want
man.
to.
You got the tool. Know how to use it.
Oh Lord have
Well,
mercy.
the
All right.
truth is still the truth, though. So I'm just
All right,
making it
fam.
clear.
All right, family. All right, family. All right.
But I
Listen.
see your point. I see your point. Even society, if a man goes up to a woman and asks for money, the first thing she say, you better get a job. But if a woman asks a guy for money, guess what most men say? Where your man at? Where your man at? So even society even judges it like that. But
Once again, it depends on who you pick. If you're in
Yeah.
a partnership, it depends on who you lay
No,
with.
but Queen, we talking about how society views things, right? We're not even talking about picking the right person, right? That's a whole different type of discussion. Like society is gonna give.
Is stupid. Society is
Yeah,
stupid. So you
it
make your
is though.
society.
It
You
is
make-
though, but
You make your
but
reality.
you're not. But listen, but you're not gonna change how people perceive men and women, right?
I ain't changing a damn thing, but
what I'm saying is that from a man's perspective, right? Just from a man's perspective, right? We know that women are going to be perceived a certain way, right? We know that there's certain things that y'all can do and say that we just can't do and say. It's just a natural fact.
That's
like,
fine. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that y'all going to be given, or there's certain things that y'all able to kind of have leeway on because y'all women, right? And it's fine and it's understood. You know what I mean? But men ain't got that leeway. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's probably never gonna happen. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna say never, but it ain't happening no time soon. I mean, yeah, I think it should. I think people should be able to express themselves across the board, both men and women, in a healthy way. All right, not destructive, but in a healthy way.
But that's the reality that you build for yourself. Forget society. Society ain't in your house. Society don't walk with you every day. That's what you build for yourself, and that's what you build. That's what you build around you. So if you around the right kind of dudes and the right kind of chicks, that's the environment you're gonna be around. That's the fault. That's the society, or that's the reality that you foster in your life. You can't control mass media or mass thinking. I'm not trying to. Only person I can control is Queen and who's in Queen's court. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't listen to what society tells me, because if I were to listen to them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And like I said before, 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is up.
Oh my God.
Okay, y'all. I absolutely appreciate everybody's input, and I do want to agree with. And I know the world finna come to an end because I agree with M3 on them.
Oh Lord, Queen QB, you changing my view of you.
when
I like
he,
the
Wait, what are we agreeing with
I
again?
like what you think, QB. You know.
but when he said that, your attractiveness plays a role into the opportunities you're afforded, that is absolutely true. Not all really pretty women get, handouts. However, from my experience, and not that I've been the most attractive person, but if you know how to wield your magic as a woman, your charms, you can oftentimes get more bang for your buck. Smile, a giggle, a flirt,
Men are stupid.
And I admit that I haven't always used my charms for good. But that's another story for another day. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess you using what you're blessed with to get ahead. So I guess that's what.
And
some
it's
people
not even. It's not even about the body parts. It's about I have this natural charm.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say I use it maliciously, I don't. But there have been times I've used it to my advantage.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna say this though.
You playing
The
chess.
body part does matter a lot, from it. To the point that you don't even have to have like a personality. I mean, yeah, charm or whatever, right? But your charm doesn't even really matter. Is that all you have to do is just not talk more, less is more, as they always say, and just smile and have a conversation. Know how to articulate.
That's what you want.
But make sure that you're pretty and fit. And these rules, like,
Lord have mercy.
in the ground that you walk on.
You don't want a
Oh
human.
my God.
And that's exactly why I say what I say. You choose with the thing hanging between your legs, and then you get mad when women do the same. Choose better. You want a dumb blonde blow up doll? They got plenty of apps for that. Go get it. But don't get mad when she uses you for the bag. Don't get mad when she steps on your heart, breaks it. Don't get bitter, Ben. Because you choose with the ding-a-ling between your legs. That's all I'm saying.
Let me rebuttal to that, right?
You don't have to choose that way.
But wait, did y'all see?
Right?
Did
So
y'all
just
see?
like you want
Hold on.
the airheads to shut up and just be cute with all these figures and shapes and numbers, then that's why she wants your zeros and your ATM password. Don't get mad. You want her
Lord,
for her
have
body.
mercy.
She wants you for your bag. Keep your use and continue to be bitter.
Well,
Enjoy
here's
your life.
a
Hold
spoiler
on,
alert.
M3 and then Von Eric. M3 and then Von Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, here's a spoiler alert, Queen, right?
Oh my God.
Fortunately, most men, they already are aware of, what women want,
No, you're
and
not.
that's the bag, and they know what they have to offer. So men don't really complain too much as far as, the ones who really got it, they don't mind spending, and they don't mind peacocking, and they don't mind giving the woman the experience just in exchange for whatever they want for a woman. Because
Yeah,
relationships and that. Hold on.
Hold on, Queen. One mic. Let him
You-
finish. Let him finish,
Yeah.
Queen. Let him finish.
Everything is transactional. Okay, this is coming from a man who know other men who do these type of things. Okay, and actually knows men because I am a man myself. So you can't tell us men as a woman what we think and how we operate. And no man have I know so far requested any
Queen,
dog
hello.
dogs. Okay.
All I'm saying to you is that's why you get what you get. And then you get your little feelings hurt, and then y'all become bitter, and then y'all
hold
want
on.
to
Again, y'all not listening. Because if
Everybody,
you're listening,
hold on, wait,
Hold
pause.
on.
Everybody pause. Von Eric is next. Queen and M3, y'all both had
I
a chance
just
to
wanted
talk.
to-
Wait,
can I make
hold
my
on.
last
I'm gonna say
point?
this.
Wait, y'all, hold on.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Best, right? You guys have to start listening. That's the problem. Y'all women don't listen. All y'all don't listen. Because if
And you
y'all
guys
been
need to
listening, right?
start thinking. You don't
Yo,
use
see,
the
see,
brain in your head.
All right, guys. All
see,
right.
see, I rest my case.
Mine's just a, I think.
Hold on 1 second, Vaughn. I just want to give a quick shout out to my man
okay.
Stan Joseph. Stan, what up, baby? Good to see you. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Vaughn.
What up, Steve?
Mine's is a form. It's like I think mine's is a form of a question. Like, did y'all see that woman that sued the guy for a bad date, $10,000 for a bad?
I heard about that too.
Yeah, it was on another for a bad. She actually took him to court for a bad date.
What? For real?
Yeah, took him to court. It's on another channel. But it was on. Yeah, you can see it. The court. She went in front of the judge. Not in front of the judge because she was at the airport while the court procedures was going on. But
wow,
she filed the claim to sue him $10,000 for a bad date.
Damn.
That is.
And I wonder where he found her at. Probably
Man, I need to go to all my
swiping
exes
left,
and start suing them for bad pussy.
Clicking up.
Oh my goodness.
What'd you say?
I said I need to go to my exes and start suing them for bad pussy. You know? With all,
And
all
they
the,
can sue you too. So there'd be a joint lawsuit.
I mean, just look at with the word. Just look at what things are coming. You actually take someone to court and then the women taking men to court for a bad date. A bad date. $10,000. Actually taking me to court. Why? Because you didn't get extra fries or I don't know.
These women today aren't women, they're females. That's what they are. You got to know what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with women. They don't make them the same way anymore. Just like the men aren't men, they're boys. So you're dealing with a bunch of kids with money and resources, and they're out here playing games until someone's goddamn feelings get hurt, and then they snap. You see it all the time. How many women get injured because a man's feelings get hurt? How many times? You don't see no men getting hurt when or women hurting men. They may take them to court, whatever else, but you choose to be with them. Like I said before, choose wisely. If you don't choose wisely, reap the repercussions of what you getting. That's it. Both parties. Ain't one stronger than the other. Ain't one smarter than the other. Y'all both stupid. And y'all moving about these streets recklessly, and that's the results you're getting. Reckless results. Both parties.
Well, when men have the power to walk away,
everybody has the power to walk away.
Let me say this, Sammy. Let me say this. Wait. Hold on. Let me say this. Listen, and then I want QB to chime in after this. Listen, and after QB, whoever else want to talk, y'all talk. Listen, okay. At the end of the day, I think both have to recognize what each other go through, right? Taking men to court, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to go to court and lose their money and resources and lose their legacy just because they chose wrong. So, Queen, you're wrong on that one, and I gotta say that. But also, right? You know what I mean? Men do have to choose better as well. You know what I'm saying? They do have to choose better, and you just can't get with a woman. It can't, and I have to disagree with them three on that one. It cannot be transactional. I'm not gonna put my name and legacy and everything on the line for somebody who ain't worth it. It's not happening. Okay? I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is when I want to do business, I'll do business. But to me, a relationship ain't gonna be business. Okay, it's gonna be a relationship. I mean, and if the person I'm with doesn't understand that, then we can't rock with each other. It's not going to work. Okay? I'm not giving you my namesake and my resources and all that just so that you can act like you're submissive, act like you care about me, act like you really are there for me, but you're only doing that because I'm providing you a lifestyle? No, I'm not doing that. No, you really gotta love me and care about me. Not because of Not because of what I do for you, but because of who I am as a man. And it's got to be vice versa. I got to care about you based on the fact of who you are as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Completely. Because let's say one of us has health issues, or one of us goes with depression, or one of us loses a career, or whatever. Life is going to happen to everybody. Life has no favoritism. Okay? Life's going to hit everybody. So with that being said, are you really with me to be with me? Are you there with me for what I have? You know what I'm saying? And if you're only with me because of what I have, and you're not really there for me, then that's a problem. What I have should be icing on the cake. That should be added to who I am, right? So it should be a duality. It should be who I am first, and then what I have. Yeah, okay, cool. She got a nice body, but man, what really keeps us together is the fact that, you know what I mean, that she basically, she really loves me, man. She really can think for herself. She really cares about her family and mine. That's the thing that's gonna keep us together. Yeah, you know what? He has a great paying job. Hold on. He has a great paying job, but you know what? Man, he's really a solid man. He really cares about my family. He really cares about me. He really cares about people around me. He really cares about what I'm doing for my career and who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna keep you together. QB, go ahead and chime out, and then
I want to.
Hold on, Queen. Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
QB, go ahead.
Well, I'll let Queen make her point, then I'll round up.
No, I was asking you, and Mr. Best, you said something about going to court. When did I say that was okay?
No. You use as a reference for the men. You know what I mean? As far as the court thing, I was like, that's something big too for men. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's something big for everybody.
Exactly.
But I did want to say that you have to hold. I'll be back. You guys go ahead.
Mr. Best, I'm gonna say one last thing, right? Just to rebut on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even your expectation, right? You know, or your standard, you want the woman to love you for you. You want the woman to be submissive, you know, or at least cooperate. You know, that too is transitional. You know, transactions does not always have to be something that is associated with something that's negative. I understand that when people hear the word transactional, it's the same thing like when women hear the word submissive. Yeah, you should be subservient to a man, but we're talking about more like cooperation as opposed to like the slave work. But transactions, we're talking more about like, okay, yes, in exchange, as a man, like, you know, I will provide, I will take care of you, but I need you to hold me down. If you can't hold me down, you are breaking those transactions.
I get what you're saying, but I think to me it's like the wrong terminology. But just for me, that like to me that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to use a word that's based on finance to talk about like a relationship. You know what I mean? For me, it's got to be where
you could be bought.
Yeah, for me that, you know, for me it's got to be where, okay, you are actually there with me because you actually really want to be there with me, and the other things that I provide is a plus that's added to on who we are and what we do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
you gotta call it what it is. It's called the escort. It's called the girl on the corner. That's what a transactional movement makes. You picking up somebody on the street. That's what it is. Call it what it is. We don't have all them terms back in the day. You see the girl on the corner. Hey, yo, I got my bags. Come on, let's do it. Give me that booty. Give me them the breast. Do it. Come on, let's do it. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with a relationship. It's a transactional, non-emotional exchange. I'm paying you for your goods, and I get a service.
But I just want to ask M3 a question because when you're using the word transaction, how are you using it? Are you using it in monetary?
I just explained that to you. I already explained it. You know, like transaction is transaction. It's a give and take. You know,
you got the body, he got the money. Let's get it.
So you use it.
No. Okay, that's your way of thinking, right? But
that's why I was asking. That's why I was asking.
I said
one mic, y'all. One mic. Let's ever ask this question.
I'm going, bro.
I'm I'm trying to make it clear. I just want to be clear when you're using the word transaction. Are you using it within a relationship, not monetary, not economics, not exchange of money, but you're using it to define a category in a relationship, right?
Yeah. Okay. So like I said before, when I was explaining already to Mr. Best, right? You know, I'm not talking about monetary things or whatever, right? It doesn't mean like your body, my body, or whatever, right? But there's certain terms when we associate, like I said, when we associate, like women need to be submissive, which they do need to be submissive, you know, they take it to like offense, even though we're using submissive as a positive term of endearment to let women know that, look, we just want you guys to be corroborative without trying to control you as slaves, even though they still get into their feelings anyway. So same thing, you know, I'm going to still say transactional because relationships are transactional. It is a give and a take to it. You know, whether if you guys build or not, you know, if you want a woman to be in a certain type of way and you're going to provide that woman to be the best of yourself too, it's a transaction.
Okay.
Wally, was you gonna say something real quick, bro?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was basically saying when Queen was mentioning her comment, I was like, oh yeah, you going broke. But to Mr. M3, yeah, he's right. It's all transactional.
And that's why y'all get what y'all get.
Lord have mercy.
Again, don't pay her no matter much. She's looking at the
body. Who's y'all? I leave it where the sun is.
I'm not. If
the cloud flows, let it go.
There you go. If it ain't got nothing to do with you,
where the cloud flows, let it flow.
Comment, just like you made your comment. Thank you. That's why y'all get what y'all get, because you swipe your card and you push a button and you don't know what the hell you getting. You just see it. It look good. It look good. I'm gonna get that. It look good.
But the whole package wasn't even wrapped.
That's okay. That's okay. And that's why you got spoiled milk.
You know, I love these conversations right now. Again, this goes to my point that women don't listen though.
Because the package look good.
QB, go ahead and say what you gotta say, QB. We here.
Bring us home.
Okay. I want to say this to M3. This is not a counter debate. This is just a statement. When you talk about women need to be submissive, I don't know if we've talked about on any of the platforms about feminine and masculine energy. Everybody possesses these energies. It's not about being female or male. It's an energy that dictates how you operate in your day-to-day life. Some people operate more in one than the other, be they male or female. Okay. Women who you all would like to be more submissive have had to operate in their masculine energy because of circumstances in their life. They didn't always choose that, but because of where they are in life, maybe some choices they made, whatever, they now have to be this independent, self-sufficient woman. And 9 times out of 10, most women want to fall back and operate in their femininity more and let the man be the lead. But because of how we have been either raised, our life experiences, examples of what a healthy relationship looks like, et cetera, we don't know how, not we as in me, because I'm different, we collectively don't know how to be submissive, because oftentimes the men who use the word submissive are really trying to be authoritative. So we have to, one, come to an understanding as individuals, as a couple, of what that looks like for our relationship. Women who truly desire a man, who desire a husband, who desire a life partner, they know what it means to be submissive. They know that if the man goes out and makes the money, he buys the house, I'm going to make it into a home. I'm going to make sure our space is filled with love, peace, and joy, and all his spiritual needs are met. Anyway, that's a whole nother long ass discussion. But again, it's about who you connect with. And here we go back to these soul ties. We start connecting with just any and everybody because they feel good in the moment. Then we develop this unhealthy attachment. Our needs are not being met. And we wonder why we're still feeling empty on the inside, because we haven't done the healing work for ourselves. You have to complete yourself before you bring somebody else into your space to complete you. That's that on that.
So, QB, do you mind if I respond?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, just for the sake of the live stream, right? Off the record, I definitely wholeheartedly understand where you're coming from, right? And in some aspects, I do agree where you're coming from. But, just for, the stream and, Queen is there and all that, whose fault is it? It seems like it's an issue between like the women that need to deal with that, not the men's issue. Okay? Because it's easy for women to place the blame on the men and saying that we're demanding and this, and that. But whose fault is it to choose like the wrong type of men? That's number one. Number two, I have a story and I'll make it really quick, my story. Okay? So, this is a story of me being polite and asking for what I want based on my intentions. Okay? So, an example, let's say I'm sending out a link, right? Send out links because I want somebody a group of people to share, support, whatever, right? So I'm asking you as opposed to being demanding. I know that we have a reputation, of men being super demanding when it comes to women, okay? But here's the thing. Anytime when we ask for something, it's never received. Okay, don't ask me why. Maybe, people are just lazy or they don't really want to support and do it. But that leads to us not really being nice anymore. And so we have to like take charge and we're putting that demand and say, look, I asked you for this, for you to do this. You didn't do that. So now I'm telling you, you need to go ahead and finish your job and do it. So that could probably be the reason why most men decides to be a little bit more assertive, because acting nicely and saying please all the time usually doesn't really get the job done. And you also have to remember and keep in mind that women don't listen anyways. But they'll listen when you raise the voice at them. They'll listen to you when you're being rude to them. And they'll definitely listen when you cheat on them with a Becky, So they'll listen to all these things except for the additional.
No, they listen.
He let it out.
They just don't get it.
There's a lot of hurt, bitter men in this world. I tell you that.
See, and there we go with the bitter stuff. She used that shaming tactic because she wanted to silence men from speaking of the truth. I ain't got to silence
nothing. I call it what it is. Don't play yourself. I ain't got to silence nothing. I ain't got to shame nothing. There's bitter men, just like there's bitter women. My diss and my shade is for both genders. I don't think one is stupider or less than the other. I think all genders are making stupid decisions, making stupid moves, and being reckless in these streets with their hearts and their lives. That's what. So
how many times you said men are stupid compared to women?
I agree with that.
Bitter Betty. Are you good now? Are you good now?
You're saying it more in a condescending type of way, though.
Bitter Betty. Bitter Betty. Okay, cool. You good? Did I balance the atmosphere for you? You and your feelings, see? And women are sensitive, right?
Bravo.
But men are sensitive. You and your feelings, but women are sensitive. We emotional. Oh, okay, cool. It's all good.
No, we're just doing this for entertainment.
You ain't nothing. Both men and women are stupid in how they're moving these days. And I'm going to say that, and that's what I stand on. Both genders. You want to be swiped? Be swiped. You want to be the swiper? Be the swiper. You're going to get the results you get, and you can't be mad at nobody but your damn self. I tell the women that. I tell the men that. That's it.
I got you.
Okay.
Big facts on both sides. Big facts.
That's it.
On both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Big facts.
Okay. Well, I was going to close out with how to break soul ties, but I guess the conversation. That took a whole nother turn.
It
However,
sure did.
I want to say this, going back to what M3 was talking about, we all have to take some responsibility on who we connect with, who we give ourselves to physically, intimately, to, and I feel that can help eliminate some of the miscommunication in relationships when it comes to the roles that each person plays. I don't want to say the gender role, however, the spousal role, the head versus the next in line. I don't want to say women are not supposed to be subservient to men. We're supposed to be their help meet, as the Bible says. But again, it depends on your personal beliefs and where you stand on that. Women are, and this is again from my personal perspective, if more women operated in their dual energies, if they found a good balance in their energies, the masculine and feminine energy, I feel that we all would get along better in our relationships. But we got to find that balance. We got to know when to relinquish the power, when to be a woman, when it's okay to be soft. Men need to give us a space to say, okay, I need you to be the go-getter right now. I accept you being that go-getter right now. Because when we go to work, we can't be all soft and whatever. We got to be about our business. We get in certain spaces, depending on what profession you're in. Anyway, again, energy, that's another subject, another topic. But if you feel you have an unhealthy connection with somebody, pray about it, meditate about it, write it. I'm a stickler for writing. Get a journal or a notebook and write about it. And then speak into the atmosphere to that other person's soul. It's not an overnight process. Trust me, it's not an overnight process. But you have to be willing to do the work to separate that tie, to cut, burn, snip, eliminate that tie, that connection with somebody. You have to be self-aware enough to know when enough is enough. Our time on this road has ended, and it's time for us to part our ways. No love lost. Our time is just up. Because if you keep going, then it's going to turn unhealthy and toxic. Those are my final words.
And I'm gonna say this, Queen QB. You also got to clean that damn mirror in your house and sit in front of it and own the bullshit looking back at you. Because if everybody want to point the finger and look out the window, you ain't dealing with you. Look in the mirror. Michael Jackson said it. I'm starting with the man or the woman in the mirror. Start with that person first, and then you move accordingly. But when you're looking out the window, looking out, the door, you always going to see what's wrong with that person instead of seeing what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's why they move the way they move.
So
make that change.
5, 4, 3, 2. Your time is up.
So we're going to go Wally, Vaughn, Queen Sophia, M3, and Mr. Best. Go. Final words.
I honestly have nothing more to say.
Huh?
They say you ain't got
No,
nothing to say.
I honestly have nothing more to say on this one.
Well, I appreciate you for joining us and lending your thoughts on the subject or any subject that came up today. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, appreciate you.
Vaughn.
What's this, the last word?
Yeah, just whatever your final thoughts are.
Oh, my final thoughts is I enjoyed the conversation. I thought all the questions that you brought up was great. Everybody spoke with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. I appreciate 84 for bringing me up. It was a good discussion today. First time to be blessed on his panel. And I appreciate him and the knowledge that he gave today. He was spitting some knowledge today. And Queen Forever, Sophia, and Queen Jones, and M3. He brought it out the bag. I mean, he reached. but it was a discussion that needed to be spoke about, and that's what I really enjoyed. So much love to people on the panel and people in the chat. They had some good comments. I thought it was great. So I appreciate it. Much love to all. Love you all.
Thank
Love you, brother. Love you too, bro.
All right, Queen and
Queen.
Sophia.
No, I'm just gonna say this. Know your worth. Know your price. Stop letting these suckers and these hoes treat you any differently. Move different, and your life will be different. 5, 4, 3, 2. No time is up, and that's it. That's all.
All righty.
The whole time she was up here.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you for everybody on the panel. Your opinions are appreciated. It's all desired and it's all needed. I really appreciate being here, and I thank you all for when I was down, y'all lifted me up. Everybody has their own special gift, and I hope that we all can give each other a virtual hug. I really do love y'all, and I hope you have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
Right. Thank you, Sophia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this was definitely like a wonderful night. Definitely fun, like discussions and conversations, and beautiful transactions as well too. So, yeah. Other than that, with that being said, make sure that you guys subscribe to the intellectual. Well, actually, y'all already subscribed to his channel, but make sure y'all share his channel and comment after when the stream is over. Like, if you guys really support him, make sure y'all do that, because we want to make sure we build the algorithm up, especially under the Knowledge and Relationship umbrella as well too. That stuff is very important. Share his videos as well too, and tell your friends like it, and get a glimpse of more entertainment that we have to offer. So, yeah. Other than that, you can also find find all of us in Knowledge and Relationships. The motherboard of it all. And you can also find me on my new YouTube channel, M3 TV Network. Okay. So M3, space TV, space network. So don't get confused with the other M3 TV Network, because that's not space. Right. I will be talking for now about celebrity topics and reactions, and hopefully, I'll have some more up in store.
All right.
Is it 84? Is it okay for men now to cry in the house instead of waiting till it rains to go outside?
Yeah, man. I think so,
you
man.
do it in your shower.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, I gotta clip that. Man.
You better cry at home.
Yeah, Queen don't want to. She don't want to see you cry. She gonna tell you a punk.
No, that ain't true. That's a lie. I want you to cry, because if you don't cry, I think you a punk.
I got you.
Everybody got feelings. I ain't gonna be with no brick wall. Brick walls are for buildings, not relationships.
Wow.
Well, then we build.
All right. Well, Mr. Best, take us out.
Oh no, QB, go ahead. I want you to share. Go ahead.
I've already said my piece.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining Knowledge and Relationship family here on Intellectual Soapbox. Thank you also for another edition of Conversations with me and QB. Thanks for all the family that came up here. We appreciate y'all. Wally, Truth, Von Eric, Queen, Lady Sophia, M3. Thank y'all all for coming up here. You know what I mean? Definitely being a part of our experience. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And everybody, please like and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, everybody, peace and love, family. We are out.
Who's gonna turn the light off?